Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Friday night football here at Snohomish High School Veterans Memorial Stadium. Hello, everybody. Tom Lafferty along with Coach Joel Vincent. Steve Bullock's on the sidelines tonight. Our spotter is Jake Pulley. Our statistician is Buddy Patrick. Brandon Hamilton at the controls at the KRKO studios in downtown Denver, ready for some high school football between the Snohomish Panthers and the Monroe Bearcats. And Coach, Monroe Bearcats coming in number 9 in the state.
Yeah, getting some respect, putting all those dubs up, and how great is that for the Wesco that you've got a Wesco team there in the top 10?
This is the second game of the doubleheader here. It was an unscheduled doubleheader until last night when they decided with the air quality index so bad in Snohomish that Glacier Peak and Jackson supposed to play last night. They changed it to play today at 4 o'clock. And Coach, we watched that entire game. Glacier Peak just ran roughshod over Jackson.
Yeah, as was expected. I mean, that's a tough task for Jackson to take on the number 1 team in the state. And,
right.
And we saw it today firsthand.
And it was 55-0 the final there. Here we go. It's going to be Snohomish in their red jerseys, white pants, white helmets. Monroe in all white. So white tops, white bottoms. They've got the orange numbers, black helmets.
We had a bit of a celebrity on the sideline for the first game.
We did. There's even a picture of 2 coaches, Vincent and a coach Dickert was here.
Yeah, Coach Jake Dickert, head coach at WSU, was here today to get his eyes on Trey Lechner and talked with him a little bit, who's committed to go to Washington State. So it was good to meet Coach Dickert and catch up with him and talk Cougs for a little bit.
So it is going to be Monroe who won the toss. They elected to receive. And they've got everybody all lined up and ready to go. Snohomish will be kicking off. The 2 guys deep for the Bearcats. We've got 12 minutes on the clock. It's 8 o'clock at night. We're ready to kick off. It's like being on the East Coast for a Sunday night football game, right? 8 o'clock kickoff.
Well, if there's some grandparents watching this on STSPN and they're on the East Coast, it's late back there.
It is a late kickoff. So
probably got that DVR set.
Here is the approach. Pruitt and Davis are deep to receive. If they're not going to get it, it's going to be actually taken by Pruitt at the 25-30, 35-40, 45-50 up the left-hand side at the 45 and all the way down inside the 40-yard line. 35-yard return on the opening kickoff. Silas Green comes up and makes the stop. That was Bo Pruitt on the return. 5'5", 160-pound sophomore. He's got 10 TDs rushing. He's got 8 TDs receiving. And he just about broke it for a big return for a touchdown on the special teams as well.
Well, he's a young man that can pretty much do it all.
So it's going to be first down, 10 yards to go. We give the starters as we go along. First and 10 from the 40-yard line for the Monroe Bearcats. Empty backfield here for Springer. Springer, though, will hand it off to Pruitt around the right-hand side, trying to finish it off at the 40. Lowers the boom at the 35 and gets down to the 34-yard line. About a 6-yard gain there for Bo Pruitt. For the Monroe offense, across the front line, they go David Portno, Eli Nugent, Ryland Hampson, Matai Patel, and Boyd Eaney. Tight end is Biggie Natoa. The wide receivers, Trent Bublitz, Cody Edelbrock, Aiden Gamble, and Eli Miller. The running back is Bo Pruitt. Blake Springer is the quarterback. He stands empty in the backfield. They splits the man to the slot to the right. Back to pass throws over the left flat. It's going to be complete. Edelbrock at the 30, heads up field at the 25. Still on his feet at the 20 and down into the red zone at the 19-yard line. That's a 16-yard pass play to the left flat.
Little smoke screen out there to the left, out in space. Gets some great blocking from his other receivers out there. Gets a really positive gain down the field.
So it'll be first and 10 now in the red zone at the 19-yard line for the Monroe Bearcats. Opening possession of the football game. We're just a minute 5 into it. Ball's at the left hash mark at the 19-yard line, first and 10. Springer has a running back to his right. He drops back to pass, rolls left now, throws it complete at the 10-yard line, and then just kind of grabbing the football and stepping out of bounds backward is Trent Bublitz to make the catch. He gets a 9-yard gain. Let's take a look at the Snohomish defense across the front line. David Ross, across the front line here. Brody Strand, Gavin Maynard, Lewis Miller, and Connor King. Give you the others here in a moment. Second down and about a yard to go off the left hash mark at the 10-yard line. High snap, handoff. Pruitt gets it up the middle. He'll get the first down and a little more all the way down close to the 5-yard line. 4 yards on the gain there. So for the Snohomish defense across the front, Gavin Maynard, Lewis Miller, Connor King. Defensive end is Max McDicken. The linebackers, Mason Podel, Andrew Siemens, and Brody Strand. And the defensive backfield, Cole Taylor, Parker Jackson, Andrew Siemens, and Samuel Flores. So it's going to be first down goal to go for the Monroe Bearcats in their opening possession at the 5-yard line. First and goal. Springer changing the play at the line of scrimmage, kind of yelling at people. Now he puts a man in motion, and they'll give it to Pruitt right up the middle. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. 6-yard run. Bo Pruitt just that easy, just that quick into the end zone for a Monroe score.
Yeah, a little inside counter play off that jet fake action. Really well-designed play for a touchdown.
Yeah, he took it just right up there with nothing fancy about it. Great blocking, though.
Yes. Great blocking in the interior, good fake by the back coming across. You know, they always say a good fake's worth 2 blocks too, so just a well-executed drive all the way around.
Waiting for Ryland Hampton to add the extra point. Springer holds, the kick is airborne, it's up, and it is good. So with 9 minutes and 53 seconds to play in the opening quarter on the opening drive, the Monroe Bearcats get 7 on the board. Snohomish will take the football after the break. With 9:53 to go, we'll be right back. 3 seconds to play in the opening quarter here at Snohomish High School, Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's the Snohomish Panthers and the Monroe Bearcats. Monroe just marches it right on down the field, and they get the opening touchdown of the game. We'll take a look at that scoring drive here after this kick by Ryland Hampton for the Bearcats. Mentioned the first game here today was Glacier Peak defeating Jackson 55-0. Lake Stevens and Kamiak playing tonight in a 14-10 lead for Lake Stevens in the second quarter. Shorecrest and Shorewood playing for the Rotary Cup tonight down at Shoreline District Stadium. And we're getting set for the kickoff here for Monroe.
I forgot that Monroe had the big fella kickoff, Ryland Hampton. He's 6 foot 260. You don't see a bunch of 260-pound kickers.
He kicks it and just booms it down there. It's going to bounce a couple times and be taken at the 5-yard line by Jackson. Parker Jackson on the return. Now he eludes a man at the 20, 25, 30. Still on his feet. 35, 40. Out to the 50-yard line. Touchback at the 53-yard return. So turnabout is fair play. Good return for the Monroe Bearcats on their opening kickoff. That's a pretty good one right there. 53 yards all the way down to the 41-yard line. That's where Snohomish starts with the short field.
Yeah, that's a little bit, you do it, we'll do it. Both teams start off with big kick returns to start their drives. Now we'll just see if Snohomish can do what Monroe did here and be methodical and drive it down the field.
And I think it was the kicker, Ryland Hampton, who got the stop there. You don't want your kicker to make stops except unless he's 6 foot 260. That's what he is. From the 41-yard line, 1st and 10, Snohomish. Panthers moving from right to left in their red jerseys, white helmets, white pants. Cale Hammer, the quarterback, stands in the shotgun, and they will run the football. That's Kyle Larson. Gets to the 40, then the second wave, the linebacker comes through. They'll get 3 yards down to the 38-yard line. Let's take a look at the Snohomish Panther offense across the front. David Ross, Connor King, Tommy Brandwell, Seth Aboud, and Peyton Clark. The wide receivers, Parker Jackson and Wyatt Doran. The tight end, Gavin Maynard. And the backs, Caleb Podel, Cale Hammers, the quarterback, Kyle Larson as well. So 2nd and 7 now. They'll throw the football. Off the left flash can be complete. Doran makes the catch. Get about 3, maybe 4 more. In fact, they put him inside the 35-yard line down to the 34. So gain of about 4 brings up now 3rd down, 3 yards to go for Snohomish. Opening drive for the Snohomish Panthers down here, 7-0, 8:46 to go in the opening quarter. 3rd down and 3 yards to go for Snohomish. Shotgun snap for Cale Hammer. Giving him the handoff. That's Podol around the left side. Gets to the 30. That's going to be enough forward progress for a 1st down. So that'll be a 4-yard gain for Caleb Podol. Let's take a look at the defense now for the Monroe Bearcats. The cornerback, Deegan Chapman, and Malachi Mayfield. The strong safety, Eli Miller. The free safety is Bo Pruitt. Defensive end, David Portnow. Brendan Shepard, Tyler Lynch. And the linebackers, Biggie Notoa, Noah Berry, Nick Mouser, and Cody Edelbrock is outside linebacker. 1st and 10 for Snohomish from the 30-yard line. Give it to Podol around the left side. Kind of leans across the 30 and down inside the 30. Put him out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. That's to be about a 3-yard gain. Coach, you kind of leaned around the corner on that one.
Yeah, kind of leaned around the corner, had a tough time getting north and south on that. But again, it's always interesting to me that you run a jet-type sweep into the short side of the field. There's just not a lot of green space to run over there.
We'll get to you, buddy. Next play. 2nd down and 2 yards to go. About the left hash mark at the 27-yard line. Shotgun snap. Give it to Larson. Larson right side. Quick opener across the 25. Stays on his feet down to about the 22 or so. It's going to be a 5-yard gain. Let's go to Buddy Patrick with a look at that previous scoring drive by the Monroe Bearcats.
Opening drive for Monroe goes 41 yards in 5 plays, 3 on the ground, 2 through the air, taking 2 minutes and 7 seconds off of the clock. It was a 6-yard touchdown run by Bo Pruitt. Ryland Hampton's kick was good, and with 9:53 to go in the 1st quarter, it was Monroe 7, Snohomish 0.
That scoring recap brought to you by Northwest Plus Credit Union. Your banking is about to get so much better. Northwest Plus Credit Union. Go to NW Plus CU. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Shotgun snap, and Cale Hammer is going to keep it. Fights for a yard or so down to the 21. I think they're going to give him about a yard to the 21, but that's going to bring him up close here.
About 4th and 1, I think, Tom.
It's going to be 4th down and about a yard to go. They need to get, let's go downstairs. Oh, Steve Willits, you are here. You're not protected from the rain tonight?
I am down here, Tom.
Okay.
4th and 1. Here we go. I won't hold it up because they're already at the line.
They are. 4th down and a yard to go at the 21-yard line. Going for it here. Shotgun snap coming here for Cale Hammer. Standing there patiently. Here comes the snap. No, and now he looks up. No! The ball goes over his hand, over his shoulder. And then it was going to be recovered all the way back to the 40-yard line. Boy, that was weird looking. Coach, what do you see? We got a replay tonight.
Well, I'm looking. He stood up. He's yelling something out to his receivers, and then the center snaps the ball. He's unaware that it snapped. Yeah, just a miscommunication there between the center and the quarterback.
Boy, it was turned over on downs anyway if they didn't get it, but that was just ugly looking. Steve, what did you see on that one? That was
Saw
weird.
the exact same thing. Yeah, I think Hammer was just yelling at one of the receivers, and the ball skidded right by him. Larson fell on it, but unfortunately it was 4th down.
Out of the 40-yard line, so it's 1st and 10 for the Bearcats from their own 40. Motion man back through the formation. They'll give it on the little jet sweeper on the left side. Turning the corner, that's Gamble. Gamble's going to get about 1. Put him out to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, nice job there by the Snohomish defense to string that out. He wanted to turn that thing up, but there was just nowhere to go, and they strung it out and held it to a minimal gain.
And the stop there by Max McDicken, who's the McDicken name's been around a long time in Snohomish football. Max gets that one. So it'll be out to the 41-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 9 yards to go for the Monroe Bearcats. They lead at 7-0 here with 6:22 to play in the opening quarter. Yes, it's a late start, 8 o'clock start because of the smoke yesterday. They moved the game. Glacier Peak Jackson game was prior to this one. They will give it on the handoff, a running play up the middle. Looking for, and then Pruitt just keeps his legs going, and Bo Pruitt will get about 6 yards off to the 47-yard line. When we saw Monroe before, Bo Pruitt just never stops.
No, he doesn't. He's a little dynamo, and you nailed it. His legs are constantly moving, pounding those feet in the ground. Always moving, falling forward.
5'5", 160, and he's a sophomore.
He runs a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs a lot bigger than that.
18 total touchdowns. Third down and 3 yards to go. 3rd and 3 for the Bearcats. Pruitt to the left of Springer, who's the quarterback, standing in the shotgun. Here comes the snap, gets it, throws it, left flat. No, dropped. Bublitz dropped it. Threw it right in. It hit him a bad place. Right in the hands. Wow. He wants that one back.
Yeah, and it appeared they went back to that smoke screen that they'd run with great success earlier in the game, and just not well executed there.
I'm not sure if he was going to. They're going to run. Go for it here. Are they? No. Yeah, they are. 4th down, 3 yards to go at the 47-yard line. They're going to go for it. As Springer's standing there in the shotgun, will they? No. Now they're looking over the sidelines. Will he drop back? Edelbrock is the punter. Now we've got whistles and a timeout called. Timeout called by the Snohomish Panthers. So I think they're as confused, coach, as we are. Are they really going for it? They didn't have the right personnel.
Yeah, and if they are, we want to be in the right defense for that look, and probably a wise move there by Coach Hammer if he's not sure.
5:16 to play here in the opening quarter. 7-0 lead for the Bearcats during this timeout. Let's check in with Steve down the sideline. What's the weather like now?
Yeah, it's a little bit wet right now, and certainly we're not used to that, and neither are these players, right? We talked about it a little bit during the pregame show with the coaches. Again, normally at this time of year in October, you expect rain. These guys haven't seen it in quite some time. They certainly haven't practiced in it. So all things considered, Monroe's been passing the ball fairly well. I think Bublitz dropped that last pass because he was still about 3 yards short from where he caught the ball and knew he needed to get upfield. But other than that, been impressed with the way Springer moved the ball in that first drive in the rain, throwing passes and a lot of intermediate passes to those receivers, and they've been able to come down with it. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects this game moving forward.
This is the South Division Championship. The North Division Championship is Ferndale and Stanwood. Ferndale with a 20-7 lead at the half now. Stanwood had a 32-yard field goal attempt blocked at the end of the half. Coach Jamie Plenkovich of Ferndale has been ejected from that ball game. We're trying to get more deets from our friend Tornado Ted coming up at the half. 4th down, 3 yards to go. And they will indeed go for it as Springer stands in the shotgun. Now then somebody moved. We're going to have an illegal shift. I think it looked like the dead ball foul. He's just going to call it legal procedure, but everybody was kind of leaning forward, coach.
Yeah. Well, we had both teams have great opening kickoff returns.
Yep.
And then we've had both teams have just some problems on 4th down when they've decided they're going to go for it.
Is part of that the fact that you've been practicing all week in the smoke inside in the gym?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. But just seems to be some confusion on both teams' parts on 4th down. And now with that penalty, it looks like Monroe's going to punt the football away.
Cody Edelbrock is the punter, 6 foot 180. He's a senior. He's only punted 5 times. This will be their 6th punt of the year. Maybe they don't know how to do it. They do it so infrequently.
Well, I'd hope they'd practice it anyway.
You think? 4th down, 8 yards to go from the 42. The kick is away by Edelbrock. It's going to bounce at about the 40-yard line, then rolls inside the 30 and down to about the 27-yard line, and that's where Snohomish will have their second possession now. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers from the 27-yard line. About a 30-yard punt with no return, and Snohomish will be ready to go. Monroe comes into this game the number 9 ranked team in the state. At 5-0 in league play, 7-0 overall. Snohomish 4-1 in league play. Their only loss to Shorewood a week ago. They're 4-3 overall. 1st and 10. The chains aren't set yet over on the far sideline, but it's 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. We're ready to go. Cale Hammer stands in the shotgun, gets the snap. Give it to Larson around the right side. A little quick opener, then it closed quickly. Got to the 30, got about 1, maybe 2, just barely across the 30. It looked like a hole opened up, and then it was quickly closed up by the linebackers there for the Eli Miller is the one who comes up and makes the stop.
Yeah, that's what you call a safety running down the hard alley there. He came up fast from that safety spot.
So gain of 2, it'll be 2nd down and 8 yards to go at the 31-yard line of Snohomish. Panthers with the football. Shotgun snap, Cale Hammer stands in the pocket, throws to Larson, left side, eludes one man, broke a tackle at about the 33, and then got forward to about the 34. They'll put him down at the 35-yard line. There'll be a 5-yard gain in the pass play. Those are tough yards, too, because he got hit high and low as he count that football.
Yeah, nothing has come easy for Snohomish on offense tonight up to this point.
Third down, 3 yards to go. Third down rolled up quickly here for Snohomish. Hammer stands with Larson to his left in the shotgun. A little double reverse, a little inside handoff, and go around the other way. It's going to be total across the 45, 50, 45, all the way down out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A little trickeration there, a little double reverse, and it gets a 25-yard gain into Monroe Bearcat territory all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, yeah, that's just a little variation of the old wing tee, what we call the crisscross. It's just a quick little double reverse inside, and you pull those linemen going that way. He had an escort around the corner. Good game.
Good gain down to the 40-yard line where it's 1st and 10 at the Monroe 40 for Snohomish. Down 7-0, coming up on 4 minutes to play here in this first quarter at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Shotgun snap, handoff Larson this time. He'll keep it across the 35, gets down to about the 31-yard line. Kyle Larson on the carry that time. That'll be an 8-yard gain. He did the reverse last time. This time, he keeps it himself, and he'll get 8 yards down to the 32-yard line. Kyle Larson on the carry.
Well, we've been watching Kyle Larson for a few years, too, and we were talking about Monroe's back earlier, not being very big, but running hard. I would throw Kyle Larson in that group, too. He's 5'11", 151.
Second down, 2 yards to go from the 32-yard line of Monroe. Shotgun snap here for Cale Hammer. Take it away from Larson. Now step up in the pocket. Is he going to be sacked? No, he's going to escape. And then he's going to go forward. It still will be a sack because he's going to lose yardage there. It's going to be Barry who makes the stop. And was it Gavin Rands? It was Rands who came through and got the quarterback sack there. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Now the officials are having a little I don't see a flag. Oh, do we see a flag? Oh, it is about the 30-yard line. Didn't see it the first time, and there.
Did Steve see what was going on down there?
Let's see if he did.
I did not. It was thrown right about the time that Rance grabbed his leg, but it happened downfield a little ways, so we'll find out right now.
Oh, they're going to wave it off.
They're going to wave it off. They're going to pick up the flag and decide, never mind. Murray Gordon is our referee. The umpire is Luke Mormeyer. The linesman, Brian Clute. The line judge, Larry Boucher. The back judge is Reed Baker. Larry Boucher used to be on your staff, didn't he?
He was. He was in my 22 years there as a head coach. He was the only assistant I had for all 22 years. So, yeah, Larry's a good friend of mine.
He ever got sick of you?
Well, I'm sure he did. But
he stuck by you.
He's a tough dude, stuck around, I guess. Yeah, but that was always a really good thing I had continuity of staff, and that's always a big help. But Larry was steadfast and was kind of my right-hand guy.
So after the loss of the play and the quarterback sack, it'll be 3rd down and 3 yards to go here for Snohomish. Cale Hammer, the quarterback, will stand in the shotgun, a 3rd and 3 from the 33-yard line. Gets the snap, swings it over right side. It's going to be complete at the 20. That's Wyatt Doran who makes the catch. Steps across all the way down for a 16-yard gain. See where they say he stepped out of bounds at the 17-yard line. So from the 33 to the 17, that's 16 yards.
Yeah, a little two-man route combination out there on the outside, and Hammer decides he's going to throw that out route. First down.
Panthers' first trip into the red zone in this ball game. It's 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Shotgun snap, that little reverse action again. This time they'll head it on the left side, and this time it's not going to work. Mason Total on the carry there. He's going to lose 4. So that reverse action worked the first time, didn't work this time. And they'll lose 4 yards back outside the red zone to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, Monroe was onto it that time, that's for sure.
Yeah. And coming up and making the stop, who do we got? Brennan Shepard on the stop there. 2nd down, 14 yards to go at the 21-yard line. Ball left hash. Give it to Larson, right side. Nope, that's not going to happen either. He's going to get a yard maybe back right to the 20-yard line. That hole again quickly closed there by the interior defensive line for the Bearcats. We're 2:20 to play in the first quarter. A 7-0 lead for the Monroe Ball Club. Snohomish with their 10th play of this drive. Third down, 13 yards to go from the 20-yard line. With the passing down here for Snohomish. Cale Hammer stands in a shotgun. Now the flag will come down from the dead ball foul. So false start there against Snohomish. Somebody moved. And that'll back them up with an illegal procedure penalty. Suddenly this third down is third and really long.
Well, if they weren't throwing before, they're going to throw now.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Be interesting to see if Monroe pins their ears back and brings some pressure, or they just rush and stay in some pretty sound coverage in the back end.
Third down, 18 yards to go from the 25-yard line. They need to get down to about the 7 to get a first down. Third and 18, shotgun snap, here it is. Hammer rolls to the right, still rolling, now throws back kind of against his body, and then it's going to be incomplete. Came up short with the intended receiver downfield. Mason Podol was the intended receiver.
And Monroe brought the pressure.
Yeah, they did. Let's go down to Steve.
Yeah, a lot of credit to Notoa, the linebacker for Monroe. The play right before that, yeah, he goes by Biggie. His family's here wearing Biggie sweatshirts. Biggie came in and actually got the guard to flinch the play right before that for the 5-yard false start, and then he was all over Hammer that time. So back-to-back plays for Biggie there, and Biggie definitely not playing small.
Biggie's kind of a cool high school nickname, Biggie.
Yeah, they called me. Yeah, we didn't have cool high school nicknames. Biggie. It's fourth down. They're going to go for it here. 4th and 18. Back to pass is Hammer. Throws in the left corner of the end zone. Has a man there. No.
Pass interference.
Pass interference is going to be called.
Flags raining down everywhere.
Yeah, they came in from all angles. Parker Jackson was the intended receiver, and he had a defender on him like a blanket, and that's going to be defensive pass interference.
That's going to be well.
Mason Davis is the guilty party there. This is going to be half the distance to the goal line.
No, they're going to get the.
And automatic first down.
Well,
I'm pretty sure. It's not Sunday. Sunday it's a spot foul. We put it up to 1 and we play on a 1st and 10, but they're going to move it. 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, but I still believe it's going to be 4th down.
Yep,
Yeah, it's not an automatic first down.
Yeah, the only automatic first downs is personal fouls.
But fourth and a lot less.
Yeah. So it's going to be 4th down and 6 yards to go at the 13-yard line. So do you kick the field goal, or do you want to go for the go for it here? Looks like they're going to go for it. And issue the chance for a field goal, because here comes Cale Hammer. Cale Hammer, the quarterback, committed to Gonzaga to pitch collegiately. Playing football now. And 4th down. 4th and 6 from the 13-yard line for Snohomish. Going for it here. Down 7-0 to their arch rival Monroe. Back to pass. The pocket collapses. He throws it down into the end zone. Touchdown, Snohomish. Gavin Maynard hauls it in. 13-yard touchdown pass. They go for it, and they got it. And they got the touchdown, and we're an extra point away from a tie ball game.
And I think this is where we're going to see that simultaneous possession of the ball. They both kind of come down and are wrestling for it, but tie goes to the offense in that case.
And he got it in for the score. Now the addition of the extra point here by Caleb Podol. Try to tie the ball game here with 1:44 to play in the opening quarter. Waiting for the snap. David Hammer is the holder. Here comes the snap, the placement down, the kick is on the way, it's up, and it is good. So with 1 minute and 44 seconds to play in the opening quarter of action, our score, the Snohomish Panthers 7, the Monroe Bearcats 7. Back with more after this timeout. seeding games. They'll play the number 1 team out of the north. Right now, Ferndale with a 22-7. Hard to say 27 lead, but it's a 20-7 lead. There's kind of a whip kick along the ground, bounced at the 20, still rolling. It's going to be picked up and then dropped by Mason Davis. He picked it up like it was hot, and so then he just kind of dropped it again. Ouch, ouch, my fingers hurt. Then he fell on it, and it's going to be back at about the 20-yard line. And yeah, I thought he was going to kick the football. Let's take a look at that scoring drive with Buddy.
The Panthers go 72 yards in 11 plays, 7 on the ground, 4 through the air, taking 3:35 off of the clock. Thanks to a key pass interference, gave the Panthers another 4th down chance. 13-yard pass from Cale Hammer to Gavin Maynard. Caleb Poldle's kick was good, and with 1:44 to go here in the first, it's tied at 7.
1st and 10 from the 19-yard line for the Monroe Bearcats. Give it to Pruitt around the right side. He's going to get out to the 20, 22, maybe 23-yard line. Bo Pruitt on the carry there around the right side. That scoring recap brought to you by Mike Dixon Insurance. Coverage is important. Call Mike Dixon with Farmers Insurance to find out what coverage is best for you. Pretty soon you'll be Stixon with Dixon. That's Mike Dixon with Farmers Insurance in Old Town Mukilteo. Call 425-375-0860 today because coverage counts. So 2nd down after a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 at the 23-yard line. Coming up at a minute to play in the opening quarter. Shotgun snap, give it to Pruitt again. Pruitt this time, not much running room there. They'll give him forward progress to the 25-yard line. About a 2-yard gain. Pruitt's quick. He hits those holes fast, doesn't he?
He does, but Snohomish was ready for him there.
And it looks like it was Brody Strant coming up on the stop. He's got a couple of stops here. So 3rd down and 4 yards to go. 3rd and 4 for the Bearcats. 30 seconds to play in the quarter. Ball at the right hash mark. 2 wide outs to the left, 2 to the right. Bo Pruitt in the backfield standing next to Springer. Shotgun snap, drops back to pass, being chased out of the pocket. Throws it over the right side. It's going to be complete at the 35-yard line. Out to about the 37. Gamble made the catch and then motored forward, stayed in bounds, and he stands up and signals himself. 1st down. You know what? You're right. It is a 1st down. They'll move the sticks out to the 37-yard line.
That's all made possible by Springer extending the play there. Pass protection breaks down somewhat. He rolls out to the right and is able to find Gamble.
Tonight's game made possible by all of our fine sponsors, and we're going to hear from one of them right now. It's the end of the quarter. After 1, it's the Snohomish Panthers 7, the Monroe Bearcats 7. Back with the 2nd quarter in Snohomish right after this timeout.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from another guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
Here on the team, you know, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boat.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Earlier, Glacier Peak 55-0 over Jackson. That's a final. Edmonds Woodway, they'll get 3rd place out of the South Division of the Western Conference with a 33-13 win over Mount Lake Terrace. Kings beat Granite Falls 56-0. That game is final as well. 1st and 10 for the Monroe Bearcats. They're at the 37-yard line. They give it to Pruitt around the right side. Quick opener at the 40, 45, 50 into Snohomish territory. Out of bounds on the far sideline. All the way down close to the 40-yard line. So Pruitt, he is quick, and he turned on the jets as he turned the corner. About a 22-yard gain there. Nice run.
Yeah, we've seen that play before. That's that inside little counter trap play off the jet action. And Pruitt hits it up in there and then kind of bends it back to the outside.
Puts it all the way down to the 41-yard line. So Monroe trying to answer Snohomish here on this possession. We're underway in the second quarter in a 7-7 tie. The Bearcats and the Panthers. From the 41-yard line, it's 1st and 10 for Monroe. Blake Springer, the quarterback, stands in the backfield, waiting for the shotgun snap. He gets it. Looking out to the flat, looking downfield, looking out to the flat, looking downfield. That means he's got a lot of time. Puts it down into traffic. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line and then out of bounds inside the 5.
It appeared to me that it went right through the hands of a Snohomish defender. Okay, I'm going to look on the replay here.
With Eli Miller for a 38-yard gain. Yeah, he put it down there.
It was actually deflected by a Snohomish defender right into the arms of Eli Miller. But yeah, there was a Snohomish defender there. I believe it was Gavin Maynard who actually got his hands on that, deflected a little bit, but unfortunately it falls right into the lap of Eli Miller.
Or fortunately, if you're a Monroe Bearcat fan. First down goal to go at the 2-yard line now. I guess we'll call it the 3, and we're going to hand it off to Pruitt. Pruitt cuts back against the green and into the end zone. Touchdown. Bo Pruitt gets the touchdown here. After a long pass play, the answer was Pruitt from 3 yards out, and it's a touchdown for the Bearcats.
Yeah, kind of a nifty little jump stop cut right there. Cuts it against the grain and puts his shoulder down and motors it on into the end zone.
So they do indeed answer. Monroe does answer Snohomish for their score. And now it'll be Ryland Hampton to kick the extra point. And waiting for Springer is the quarterback. He's also the holder here. The kick is airborne, and it is good. So with 10 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first half, our score, the Monroe Bearcats 14, Snohomish Panthers 7. Back with more right after this timeout.
Rivertown Ale House was established in July of 1994 and is located at 1114 First Street in historic downtown Snohomish. Each time you visit the ale house, you may expect to find new beers and new food choices. Fred's Rivertown Ale House is well known throughout the beer community. Oftentimes, we are the first choice for breweries to introduce new beers, limited or specialty beers, and beers you just won't find anyplace else. At Fred's, we like to say that once we get you through the front door, our friendly service, relaxed family atmosphere, and our quality food and beverages will keep you coming back.
Ahead of us, Lake Stevens leading Kamiak 21-10. That's at the half. Arlington leading Inglemoor 14-0. That is at the half. As I mentioned, Edmonds Woodway beat Montgomery Terrace 33-13 the final. And earlier tonight, Cascade over Cedar Crest 30-0. The Cascade Bruins go undefeated in Polk play. 8-0, that means they get a chance to enter the 3A playoffs. They will play Shorewood on Wednesday night in a play-in game. You just love those midweek play-in games when you coach, didn't you, Coach Vincent?
Well, you just said they're going to play that game to get into the playoffs. Make no mistake about it, for both those teams, that is a playoff game.
It's a playoff game, you bet. The Polo brothers are deep to receive here at the 20-yard line on this kickoff. The approach by Hampton, back underway. It's going to go all the way into the end zone and not be touched, and so it will be 1st and 10 for Snohomish. They'll start at the 20-yard line. We go to Buddy Patrick with a look at that scoring drive.
The Bearcats go 81 yards in 6 plays, 4 on the ground, 2 through the air, taking 3 minutes off of the clock. A 3-yard touchdown run by Bo Pruitt. Ryland Hampton's kick was good, and with 10:45 to go here in the first half, Monroe 14, Snohomish 7.
That scoring recap brought to you by GSR Rentals in Monroe, serving East King and southern Snohomish counties with quality party and equipment rentals. Go to gsrrentals.com. 1st and 10 for Snohomish, starting from their own 20-yard line. Cale Hammer stands in the shotgun. Kyle Larson to his left, goes out in the pattern. They'll throw the backward pass to Taylor Podel, who makes the catch. That was a lateral. That's going to be a loss in yardage of the rushing variety. In fact, give him a 5-yard loss all the way back to the 15-yard line. Coach, don't run that play again if you're the offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah, that's where you take your red Sharpie out and you put a line right through that one.
Nick Mauser on the coverage there. 2nd and 15 from the 15-yard line for Snohomish. Now empty backfield. Actually, they'll motion Larson and give it to him. He heads upfield now at the 20. Almost escaped out the 25, gets out to the 27-yard line. Had a chance to escape, and then Lynch comes up and makes the stop.
Yeah, Lynch doesn't make the stop there. I mean, he is one defender away from springing that and making that really, really big.
Instead, it was just moderately big, and gets him out facing now a third down and a long 2 yards to go, more like 3. 3rd and 3 from the 27-yard line. Back to pass, throwing. It's going to be tipped up and then almost intercepted. The intended receiver there was Caleb Podel. He tipped it up. That's dangerous when you got a defender there, because it was almost Malachi Mayfield had a chance to return that. That would have been a pick 6. But instead, it's going to be a 4th down here for Snohomish. And Caleb Podel will be in to punt the football. Well, he's standing back there deep, isn't he? He's 17
yards. Yeah, that is deep. But, normally high school is somewhere between 12 and 15, depending on your long snapper. So I really want to watch this snap now.
He's in a different area code, waiting for the snap here.
Yep.
Got it to him right there. Oh, and now there's going to be movement, I guess. I wonder if the coaching staff said, wait, why is he back so far? Did they call a timeout? I didn't see a flag. It just whistled everything dead. And now the officials are just standing there talking about things. Do we see a flag? I guess we do. Dead ball foul. Illegal substitution against too many men in the field. Well, that's a 5-yard penalty, and what that means is a first down for Snohomish. Right? It was 4th
Yes.
and 3. Yeah.
Yep, an illegal participation is a 5-yard penalty.
Wow. That's a big mistake, because that gives Snohomish new life out to the 32-yard line. It denies Monroe a chance to have the football, and it's 1st and 10 Panthers at the 32. Cale Hammer, shotgun snap, give it to Larson. Larson trying to turn the corner. He doesn't. Or he just about did. He turned the corner and then got smacked. And in fact, he got driven all the way back to the 20-yard line. They're going to give him progress back to the line of scrimmage. We'll say no gain. No gain on the play. Put him right back at the 32-yard line. Yeah, he was looking for something, and it just never materialized in front of him. So 2nd and 10 coming up here for Snohomish. Down 14-7 to Monroe, just inside 9 minutes of play in the first half. From the 32-yard line, 2nd and 10, Snohomish. Trip set out to the left side, the wide side of the field. Ball's at the right hash mark. Here's the shotgun snap to Hammer. Stands strong in the pocket, throws it over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. I'm not exactly sure who that was intended for. There wasn't anybody where the ball landed. A little bit of pressure in the pocket. But that rolls up now 3rd down, 3rd and 10 from the 32.
Yeah, it appeared he was trying to throw a deep crossing route about 15, 17 yards down the field. I didn't catch the number of the intended receiver.
Maynard, I think, probably was at least in the...
Yeah, it sailed way over his head.
In the same area code anyway. So from the 32-yard line, 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Back to pass is on the screen. They throw it over the middle, incomplete. Larson was the intended receiver, too far over his head, but a lot of pressure. Cale Hammer had a whole bunch of guys from Monroe in his drill. Lynch on the coverage.
Yeah, that was a case of a defensive lineman really being disciplined and staying home. He read that screen right away, and he stuck to that back and made it very, very difficult for Hammer to squeeze that ball in there.
So here we go. It'll be 4th down again. Now another punting time here for Podel. Puts his foot to his kind of whips it along. I'm surprised he didn't hit somebody in the back of the head. But instead,
that punt was ripped down the 3rd baseline.
That was a line drive.
That thing was never more than 6 feet off the ground.
Right. But he puts it all the way down.
I agree with you, Tom. I'm amazed that did not hit a single person.
You just put it right. That's one of your golf worm burners right there.
Yeah, that's put that ball back in your stance and keep it under the limbs kind of shot right there.
So it is going to be First and 10 for Monroe. They'll take the ball back. They lead 14-7. 8:26 to play in the first half. Bearcats with the football. Blake Springer, the quarterback, stands all by himself back there. Empty backfield. Trip set to the right. They'll throw to the right. It looks like a backward pass. It'll be heading upfield across the 40 out to the 41-yard line. Edelbrock made the catch. It's going to be a gain of about 5 yards for Cody Edelbrock.
Yeah, that's the third time we've seen that little smoke screen out on the perimeter there.
So after the 5-yard gain, we're coming up on 8 minutes to play in the first half. Blake Springer, the 6'2", 210-pound junior, 21 touchdown passes. He's thrown 4 interceptions. Drops back, throws. Going to be complete. And stepping out of bounds by Miller. Miller's going to have enough. He saw the sticks. Said, I'll go about a yard or so further. He gets 7 yards in the first down. Puts it right out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, a little pitch and catch there. They go a 3-by-1 set. Miller's over there on the single side. He knows he's got man coverage. Him against the corner. Runs a little out route. Pretty effective, pretty efficient.
And so here we go. First and 10 from the 50. Edelbrock in motion now sets up as a slot to the left. They'll throw the ball to Edelbrock, and he could not hold on to it. He set up as a slot to the left side, turned around, and the ball maybe was 3 or 4 inches over his head, a little bit too high, but that ball you need to catch.
Yeah, that young man's probably going back to the huddle and going to tell him, hey, I'll get that one next time. That's on me. I should have caught that.
Yeah, patting his chest, right?
Yep.
That's on me.
That's me.
That's me. So 7:45 to go in the half from the 50-yard line. It's second down, 10 yards to go for the Bearcats. Again, Edelbrock, will they run the same play? Will they dare? They don't. They're going to give it to Pruitt, who's grabbed by the jersey, still escapes and goes into Snohomish territory down for a 5-yard gain down to the 45-yard line.
No surprise there. The kid's always moving forward, falling forward. Yeah, he was actually contacted behind the line of scrimmage.
And they grabbed hold of his shirt.
Yeah, and turns it into a 5-yard gain.
So 3rd and 5 at the 45-yard line. Bearcats with a 14-7 lead, and they're controlling the football here at the 45-yard line. Springer calls the signals. He's standing right on the 50. The line of scrimmage is the 45. And he drops back to pass. Sets up in the pocket, throws it down the middle, has a man there, complete. Inside the 20-yard line, Edelbrock. He's set up as a slot left, and Edelbrock springs him down the field for a 29-yard pass play all the way down to the 16-yard line.
And that ball was thrown into double coverage. It was well thrown, even though it was thrown into double coverage. Edelbrock makes an incredible catch here.
Edelbrock knew where it was coming.
Yeah, he probably already went back and told Springer, I told you, I got you. I got you.
I had you. So from the 16-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go for the Bearcats. Now Edelbrock in motion through the formation, looking for him again. Now he's rolling to the right. Springer being chased, and he just dumps it on the ground. That, yeah, I'm going to be chased, and I don't want to go out of bounds because I'll lose yardage, and I don't want to throw it because it might be an interception. I'm just going to dump it on the ground.
And that
does, incomplete.
And that right there, Tom, was a case of the Snohomish linemen staying home because they wanted to throw a screen there. Monroe did, and it was just not there, and Springer just had to dump it intentionally into the ground and smart line up and run another play.
I'm wondering if Murray Gordon is thinking, is he talking to the guys like, could that be intentional grounding? He was outside the... He had Edelbrock there. I don't know. He came through and talks about things, but anyway, all that means, second down, 10 yards to go off the incomplete pass. Now rolling out again is Springer, throwing to the right corner of the end zone, high in the air, incomplete. Eli Miller was the intended receiver. 1, 2, 3, 4 Panthers are there to help him up. So good coverage in the end zone by the Snohomish defensive backfield. So no interference there. Brings it back for a 3rd and 10. Back at the 15, 16-yard line for Monroe. They lead at 14-7. Took the early lead. We were 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. 14-7 now with 6:26 to play in the first half. Play comes in from the far sideline. third-year head coach Scott Darrow with the plays coming in from the 16-yard line. Third down, 10 yards to go. And now running back on each side of Springer that time, and they will run it right side. 15, 10, Grant on the carry gets inside the 5-yard line. It's a 12-yard run by Rant. He had two.
Yep, you spotted that. You spotted that right away. That was the first time we've seen that look out of the Monroe offense. They actually go two backs in the backfield there and run a little power football off tackle.
So it'll be first down goal to go at the 4-yard line here for the Bearcats.
Same look.
Yeah, Rance and Pruitt. Pruitt to the right, Rance to the left of Springer. High snap, give it to Rance again, and Rance will go into the end zone. Touchdown, Monroe.
Well,
exact play.
Yeah, they found something there.
Yeah. And what they found was the end zone at 6 points.
Yeah, two very strong runs out of that formation, out of that set. I'd be surprised if we don't see a little more of that.
Yeah, good blocking up front, and into the end zone goes Mr. Rance for the touchdown. The third touchdown of the ball game for Monroe. And now Ryland Hampton to add the extra point. As Blake Springer counts everybody counts, then he points to himself. 11.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's? Oh, that's right. I'm 11. I'm 11.
Ryland Hampton to kick the extra point. Snap down, kick is away, and it is good. So with 5 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the first half, our score now: the Monroe Bearcats 21, the Snohomish Panthers 7. We continue live from Snohomish right after this timeout.
You may have heard the phrase, the early bird gets the worm. Well, at Bickford Ford, the early bird gets first crack at the new 2023 Fords. Right now, order a new 2023 Ford F-150 and move to the front of the line for America's #1 truck for the last 45 years. Or start your order on the 2023 Ranger, Edge, Bronco Sport, or Explorer. Washington's #1 volume Ford dealership. Bickford Ford on Bickford Avenue in Snohomish or at bickford.net.
Play here in the first half. Bearcats of Monroe have opened up a 21-7 lead over the Snohomish Panthers here on the Panthers home field. Second game of a doubleheader here. Earlier, Glacier Peak beat Jackson 55-0, a rescheduled game from yesterday. Yesterday, Coach sitting in this press box, we wouldn't be able to see the light standards through the smoke.
That would be true.
Yeah.
But I've seen games like that at Marysville-Pilchuck where it's so foggy that they run from the near hash mark to the far one and everybody disappears.
Yeah.
And then everybody on the other sideline starts yelling. You don't know what happened.
The kick is away. It's going to be fielded by Parker Jackson at the 5, 10, 15, up the middle, 20, still up the middle, the 30, still running at the 35, all the way out across the 40, right to the 40-yard line. In fact, for Parker Jackson, about a 25-yard, 35-yard return out to the 40-yard line, where it'll be first and 10 for the Snohomish Panthers. We go to Buddy Patrick with a look at that scoring drive.
The Bearcats go 62 yards in 9 plays, 6 in through the air, 3 on the ground, taking 2:37 off of the clock. A 4-yard run by Gavin Rance. Ryland Hampton's point after touchdown kick was good, and with 5:49 to go here in the half, it's Monroe 21, Snohomish 7.
That scoring recap brought to you by Marysville Toyota. One person, one price, 1 hour. Experience the power of one at Marysville Toyota on Smoky Point Boulevard. First and 10 from the 40-yard line for Snohomish. Now down by 2 scores. Shotgun snap for Hammer. Give it to Larson. Larson kind of pushing in the back of a couple of guys in front of him, like, give me some space. He will get a space enough for about a 5-yard gain out to the 45-yard line. Let's go down the sideline to Steve Willits.
Yeah, just a quick weather report. Stopped raining down here for a short period of time. Just started to pick up again, and you can definitely feel a little bite in the air. It's getting a little colder out here.
Is it cold down there?
It's a little bit on the chilly side.
Right, my feet are nice and warm.
I'm sure they are.
Second down, 5 yards to go at the 45-yard line. About the right hash. And they'll give it to Larson on the inside handoff, and he's going to fight and scratch and claw and try to get a yard or 2, and that's all he's going to get, maybe 2, out to the 47-yard line. Snohomish goes kind of conservative there. They'll put it out to the 47 where it'll be third down, 3 yards to go for Snohomish. Down 21-7, 4:41 to play in the first half. Coming up, we'll have our halftime show. We'll hear from both head coaches going on and off the field with Steve down on the sidelines. We'll run through the scoring plays and scores of other ball games and all the stats, all that coming up at our Snohomish County PUD halftime show. Third down, 3, and now a timeout called. It came from the side judge here, the near side of the Snohomish side, so that indicates a Snohomish timeout, and it is. We'll step aside. 4:20 to play in the first half. Bearcats 21, Panthers 7. Back after this.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
For Snohomish, 3rd and 3 at the 47-yard line. 4:20 to play in the first half. Bearcats with a 21-7 lead over the Panthers. So see what Snohomish does here. You've got to think they're in 4-down territory. Standing in the shotgun is Cale Hammer. Here comes the snap. Handed off Podol. Caleb Podol around the right side. Oh, got hit high, and then he got driven back. He got enough, maybe a yard about it. But the just good lateral pursuit there defensively by the Bearcats. Yeah, Biggie comes up and makes a stop. Biggie Natoa.
This is a crucial 4th and 2.
Yeah.
Snohomish obviously has got to want to keep this drive going and not get the ball back to Monroe. Cut this lead down to 7 before half. Not getting this first down, put it back in the hands of Monroe, puts them at risk of going 21 points down, maybe.
4th down, 2 yards to go at the 48-yard line. Going for it here. Wide receiver out to the left side, 1 to the right. 2 running backs behind. Hammer's going to keep it himself. He's going to lower his head. He's not going to get it. Needed to get to the 50, got to the 49, and Hammer will not get it. He'll come up a yard short. It'll be turned over on downs. It'll be Monroe Bearcat football. They'll start on the plus side of the 50-yard line. Oh, excuse me, it was Strant. Strant out of the Wildcat will carry it there. So it wasn't even Hammer carrying it.
Man, if I'm Monroe here and I'm the offensive play caller, I think I'd go up top.
Go down and
just first play.
Go for the juggler.
Yeah, it's almost like going for the big shot after a turnover.
Yeah.
To me, this is almost like a turnover.
So here we go from the 49-yard line.
And here's that look again.
1st and 10. Yeah, double running backs. Edelbrock splits to the right now as the slot man, so he's got 2 to the right. Springer gets the hand. Will give it the handoff. Pruitt across the right side. Not going to go up top. He'll get across the 45 down to the 44-yard line. So kind of a conservative play, about a 6-yard run there for the Bearcats. Or you hold onto it for the next 3 minutes and punch one in right before the half, right?
Well, they do have the luxury, if the scoreboard's right, that they have 3 timeouts left. So they've got plenty of time, all their timeouts.
So 2nd down, 4 yards to go from the 43-yard line. Shotgun snap here for Springer. They'll run it again this time. That's Rance again across the 35. Rance still running at the 30, 25, all the way down to the 20-yard line. Rance on the carry. That play's worked to perfection just about every time. That's a 23-yard gain all the way down to the 20-yard line for the Bearcats. He's got 3 carries and 39 yards in the football game. 13 yards to carry, you'll take that.
Yeah, I'm not a mathematician, but I could do that math.
So from the 20-yard line, we'll call it the red zone now. 1st and 10 Bearcats. Clock moves with 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. That same look in the backfield with 2 running backs. Shotgun snap, a little bit high, and now Springer says goodbye at the 15, and then he slides down across the 10. Even in high school, you look for the chains, and then you look for the ground. If they want to go far, it's going to be on the arm of Springer. And he goes down, gets the first down, slides to a stop. It's at the 9-yard line. It's first down goal to go for Monroe from the 9. Again, that same look with the 2 running backs. Will they run it? They will. Rance, right side. Rance at the 5. Cuts back at the 3, down to the 1. Came up a yard short. It's not going to get it. Kind of got bent backwards, too, and he's not very big. Gavin Rance is a little guy. He's not 5'9". I don't think he weighs 170 either.
I think someone was being very gracious at the weigh-in.
Yeah, with their thumb on the scale. But he's tough. He's standing in the backfield.
Snohomish just does not have an answer for this at the moment.
So second down goal to go at the 1-yard line for Monroe. High snap again. Give it to Pruitt. Pruitt busts it over the middle and into the end zone. Touchdown, Bearcats. From 1 yard away, Bo Pruitt goes into the end zone.
It's a simple, old-fashioned lead play. Hand it to one, lead with the other.
Even with the high snap. And put it into the end
that's
zone.
just kind of old-school power football, but out of the shotgun.
And now waiting for the addition of the extra point here for Ryland Hampton. And it'll put Monroe up by 20. By 21, actually. The kick is away, and it is good. With 1 minute and 15 seconds to play in the first half, our score now, the Monroe Bearcats 28, the Snohomish Panthers 7. We'll be right back. Out of the South Division for next week's crossover games. They're seeding games. The 1s play, the 2s play, and then it gets interesting after that. We'll run through that coming up at halftime. Next week, we will be at Lake Stevens High School for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies and the Lake Stevens Vikings. A couple of state-ranked 4A teams. We'll have it for you next Friday night here on KRKO. Here's the approach by Hampton. The kick is away, high end over end, puts it back to about the 3-yard line. Jackson on the return to the 10, 15, and then swarmed on at the 20 and brought down there. So that is where Snohomish will have it with 1:07 to go and 1 timeout.
We got a late flag. Late flag came in.
He's about to go to Buddy with the look at that scoring recap. But coming in after the play is over. And we're going to have Murray Gordon give us the preliminary signal here. The flag was way after the play. Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Monroe Bearcats. So Snohomish will take the gift of a free 15 yards out to the about the 35-yard line. Let's go to Buddy with a look at that scoring drive.
Monroe 49 yards after that turnover on downs. 5 plays all on the ground, taking 2:11 off of the clock. A 1-yard run by Bo Pruitt. Hampton's point after was good, and with 1:15 to play here in the opening half, it's the Bearcats 28, the Panthers 7.
That scoring recap brought to you by Bihar's Furniture. Dress up your space for fall this year with the help of Bihar's Furniture. Bihar's at 21st and Broadway and online at bihars.com. So they're going to march it off, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Bearcats, out to the 36-yard line. With 1:07 to go in the first half, down 28-7. Panthers try to put something on the board, I would surmise. from the 36. Still waiting for the chains to get set, and the officials to set the football down. He does. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line for Snohomish. Cale Hammer, the quarterback, looks downfield, has a man downfield, goes down. It's going to be incomplete. Well, I thought there was an argument for passer interference. It would be there. Parker Jackson, intended receiver.
Well, the Snohomish sideline was definitely asking for one there.
They didn't get it. Incomplete pass. Brings up 2nd and 10 with 1:01 to play in the first half. Also coming up to halftime, we will hear from Ted Beener, who's up at the Ferndale-Stanwood game. 2nd down, 10 yards to go for Snohomish. Shotgun snap, Hammer throws, right flat. It's going to be incomplete. Incomplete pass. Caleb Pola was the intended receiver. A little bit over his outstretched hand.
Deegan Chapman there on the coverage.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 now for Snohomish. That took 3 seconds. We're down to 58 seconds to play in the first half. Hammer gets the signal of the play from the near side on a 3rd and 10 play here. Here comes a shotgun snap to Hammer. Sets up, looks, goes downfield. It's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Monroe at the 45-yard line. Noah Berry is the intended, or is not the intended receiver. He gets the interception.
And we've got a man down and we've got a flag down.
So we will try to sort all of that out. If it's going to be post-interception, I think it's going to be Monroe football. The player down, they're working on his left knee. The officials are deciding where the ball's going to be placed. Monroe has taken a knee, all their players. Scott Darrow goes out with the injured player, and then while the officials are standing there, I think he gave them a couple of salutations and greetings. Standing at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, we've got a replay here.
What do you see? So the player is up.
Oh, it's Cole Pruitt. Kind of got rolled up on by his own guy right at the end of that play.
Bo Pruitt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a guy you don't want to mess around with. So Bo Pruitt will go off to the far sideline. The penalty is against Monroe. And so they'll march off some yardage here. Oh, illegal blindside block will be the call. So they're going to be a 15-yard penalty and the personal foul. So put it back all the way to the 30-yard line. So sort all of that out. Instead of being out by the midfield, it's going to be a big penalty. Still 1st and 10 now at the 30-yard line with 49 seconds to go in the first half. Rolling out is Springer, looking downfield. Now sets up, fires down the right sideline. It's going to be complete. Stepping out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Edelbrock hauls it inside the 40 for a 42-yard. Now everybody's stopping. Back, and we're going to be, what'd you see, Steve?
Whatever it was called very late. It came at the very end of the play, so we'll see what happens here, but it's back by the quarterback.
Yeah, that's where Murray Gordon is standing. Yeah, everybody kind of saw the play, and then everybody cheered, and then everybody looked back to the officials saying, how come we're not all running down this way? Well, because here comes your reason here. And what do we got? I'm going to guess it's going to be some kind of hold, wouldn't you think?
I would think. Oh, illegal man downfield.
Okay, ineligible receiver downfield. He rolled to the right.
Yeah, that puts those linemen in a tough spot. He rolls out, gets flushed a little bit, and they don't know if he's going to run or not run, so makes it tough on those guys
Here's
up front.
The play, Coach.
Yeah, 67 it looks like, engaged with his guys, defensive lineman from Snohomish, and they just get about 2 to 3 yards downfield when that ball is thrown.
So the chain gang is now got it dancing around over there. They're going to put it down. It's going to be a loss of 5 yards. So put it back to the 25-yard line. It's 1st and 15. They'll run the football left side. That's going to be just Mason Davis across the 40. Davis still is 45. He gets out to the 47-yard line. What's that do? 21 yards and a first down. So they will move the sticks. Mason Davis on the little, he's a fast one too.
Yeah, a lot of speed on this Monroe squad.
They'll move the sticks and put it out to the 46-yard line. The clock moves as they stop the clock to move the chains, but now we're inside 30 seconds to go. 1st and 10, back to pass. Throwing it, screen pass going to be complete from Springer to the 50, 45, and all the way down to the 40-yard line.
I think you've got to call a timeout.
Pruitt made the catch, so Pruitt's back in. 14-yard gain. And did Monroe call the timeout?
They did.
Okay. The Bearcats did. That'll be them with now 2 timeouts remaining. So they'll talk about things over there with Scott Darrow. Snohomish will talk it over their defensive coaches here. So the timeout on the field will keep it right here. Okay, coming up, we'll hear from Tornado Ted Beener up at Stanwood High School. They should be getting close to, well, into the 4th quarter, if not close to being done by the time we get done here in this first half. It's a 28-7 lead for the Bearcats over the Panthers. Again, next week we're live with you from Lake Stevens High School for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies and the Lake Stevens Vikings. Should be like number 6 against number 8 or 9 in the state. That's about what we're going to have, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on which poll you use. We'd use the Cascadia Preps one. So both teams back out there. Here we go from the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for Monroe, leading at 28-7, 18 seconds to go, and 2 timeouts. Ball at the left-hand hash mark. Blake Springer gets the snap, drops back, sets up at the 50. Now dances around a little bit, directs traffic, and down he will go back at the 48-yard line. A couple of Panthers are there. Deshaun Snyder is there. Looks like Brody Strant was there as well. And Snyder will get credited for the sack all the way back to the 47-yard line with 7 seconds to go. Monroe called that timeout. Now you're just going to tuck one down to the end zone, aren't you?
Yeah, it's Hail Mary time.
If you get lucky, you put one
in.
in.
I think Springer's got to realize there that there's nothing there, and holding the ball doesn't serve any purpose. Just airmail it out of bounds.
Yeah.
Save yourself the timeout. Save yourself the sack and the lost yardage.
So it'll be 2nd down and 17 yards to go back at the 47-yard line for Monroe. 9 seconds to go. Bearcats with a big lead. Trying to add to it before we head into the halftime locker room. They'll set the ball down here, trying to keep it dry. Actually, a new ball comes in from the far sideline. Now they sent the ball boy back off, said, nope, I've got this one, we're good. 2nd and 17 at the 47 left hash mark. They readjusted to 9 seconds to go. Motion back through the formation, back to pass Springer. Throws it, it's going to be complete. Edelbrock makes the catch at the 40. Down he goes to the 7-yard gain. They put him down to the 40. They call a timeout, their last one. So they got 7 yards there, put him to the 40. It'll be 3rd and 10, and Monroe uses up their last timeout. Might as well use them.
Might as well use them. You can't take them with you to the second half. You got a talented quarterback back there throwing the ball around.
You like a trick play, or do you want to just gun it down the middle, or are you going to give it to Pruitt?
I don't know. I think what I do is I'd probably load up one side with receivers and tell my lineman, give him a little bit of time and just chuck it down there as far as you can. At this point, that defensive coach is out there in that huddle with Snohomish going, hey, check hook and ladder, check double pass, check. I mean, they're being warned in there, I'm quite sure, about trick plays. I just airmail it down there and hope something good happens.
2 wideouts to the far side, the wide side of the field. Ball's almost in the center of the field here at the 40-yard line. Down to 2 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the first half, barring a defensive penalty. from the 40-yard line. And the shotgun is Blake Springer, the junior quarterback. Waiting for the snap. Here it is. Drops back, being chased out of the pocket. Steps up, now throws it down the middle. Puts it into traffic. The ball's up, the ball's down. Incomplete. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a flag down, though. Flag down back at the line of scrimmage. I said, barring the...
and if it's a defensive penalty,
we'll get an
untimed down.
Yeah. Now the officials are having a little conversation as well, again at the 45-yard line. You put it into traffic, and you tell the defenders, right? Just knock the ball down. You don't get the interception.
Yeah, don't try to catch it. Don't try to you want to just spike that thing into the ground like a volleyball.
So are they going to pick up the flag? Is that our second picked up flag of the half? It is. So we kind of stumbled to the end of the first half, and our score, the Monroe Bearcats 28, the Snohomish Panthers 7. We'll get on to Steve here in just a moment. He's going to catch the coach coming off on the sideline with Coach Joey Hammer. Let's go.
All right, we got Coach Hammer with us right now. Coach, what's going to be the biggest message to your guys at halftime?
Hey, we got to believe in what we're doing and what we're about, and we got to go get this done. One way to do it, and we got to go earn it.
All right, appreciate your time, Nick.
Heck yeah, go Panthers. Here we go.
Here we go.
And we'll try to get Coach Darrow here right now, too.
Okay, we'll get them both, two for one.
See if we can get a 2-for-1 for you here.
Wow. Steve's on the speed walk. I'm going to keep you on here, Steve.
Yeah, let's do it. We're walking across the field as we speak. As the Monroe... Oh, that's right. We are on STSPN 2 right now as we walk across the field here. Coaches are still huddling right now on the other side, certainly.
Let's just go in there.
Yeah, I think they would just see if I can get them to kind of pass me from one coach. They've got some big coaches too. I think they can handle me.
I'm sure. Yeah, a couple of those guys, they'll take you out.
I hoping they would take me out and hurt me. I was just hoping they might just kind of pass me around a little bit, and put me up on their shoulders, and act like I won the Super Bowl, right?
So Steve out in the middle of the field.
Do you want me to break out into a dance right now since I've got the whole field to myself?
Yeah, you're all by yourself. You're the halftime show.
We got quite the crowd here tonight too, so it's fun to kind of look out here. Monroe didn't bring a lot of numbers, but the ones that they did are very festive. They're all wearing white tonight. It's a whiteout for the Monroe fans. Meanwhile, on the other side, you got a little combination of pink and red. Obviously, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so you got a lot of pink over there, and then you've got the band wearing their red attire too. So
here comes your group.
Here we go. So let's see if we can get one right now. Coach Darrow walking right towards us, 28-7. Coach, a very tight first quarter. You kind of opened things up there in the second quarter.
Oh, like I said, we've been practicing in the gym for a week, so we look a little rusty, and that's to be expected. This is a tough team, man. I know they've had a couple down weeks, but Snohomish is, they want to beat us too, so they're playing their butts off. And yeah, we were a little sloppy that second drive, but besides that, we scored every time, so we feel pretty good. I think we've got a pretty good idea what they want to do, and so we'll make our adjustments, and we'll do our thing in the second half.
Kind of speaks to who your team is right now. We can walk over here as you're going, so a lot of different people getting involved. Your offensive line has done a great job right now. You've had both Rance as well as Pruitt running through the holes. You had multiple guys in the offense getting passes thrown to them. Springer doing a great job. You've got to like what you see as far as a team effort.
Absolutely. Blake's playing his butt off right now. Rance is really running hard. Yeah, Bo's a little bruised up, so we're deep, though. We got good receivers. I mean, we're too deep everywhere. We feel good. We go 3-4 deep with our tailbacks. Our line's playing good. More mistakes than I would like in that first half. But again, like I said, man, we're a little rusty. It's been a weird week, so I feel good about where we're at right now. I'm glad we're ahead 28-7. That's better than being behind 28-7. But we'll clean it up at halftime here, and we'll come out firing.
Sure, a lot of folks would like to be rusty and be up 28-7. What's the biggest message to your team at halftime?
Well, we're going to talk some scheme stuff first and foremost. Second thing is it's 0-0, man. It's a rivalry game. We got to make sure we stay engaged, stay focused. And again, like I told you at the beginning, football is about tackling, it's about blocking, it's about getting off blocks. You got to keep doing that stuff, right, and we'll be okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve and Coach Scott Darrow and Joey Hammer, a 2-for-1 with the Panthers and the Bearcats. We're at halftime here at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Snohomish. When we come back, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, the first half scoring, and all the stats. Our halftime brought to you by the Snohomish County PUD. At the half, it's the Monroe Bearcats 28, the Snohomish Panthers 7. Back with more from Snohomish after this timeout.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
Introducing Cord, the new recruit. Our Seattle area plumbing company just keeps on growing. Every day, every job, every person is a champion on our team. How we support each other to support our customers is changing the game.
Hey, Gene Johnson Plumbing and Heating, Corey here. How could it possibly be this great to work for a plumbing company? Gene Johnson Plumbing really sets the bar. They are trend setting the nation for a plumbing company. My wife, for the first time in years, wants to bake and cook for my team. Gene Johnson Plumbing is my new plumbing home away from my own, and I will stand by that until I retire. I'm happy.
Experience respect, pride, and appreciation for doing great work.
You may have heard the phrase, the early bird gets the worm. Well, at Bickford Ford, the early bird gets first crack at the new 2023 Fords. Right now, order a new 2023 Ford F-150 and move to the front of the line for America's #1 truck for the last 45 years. Or start your order on the 2023 Ranger, Edge, Bronco Sport, or Explorer. Washington's #1 volume Ford dealership. Bickford Ford on Bickford Avenue in Snohomish or at bickford.net.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
Full practice, Witch Doctor requesting immediate hot extract.
Here on the team, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boats.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Rivertown Ale House was established in July of 1994 and is located at 1114 First Street in historic downtown Snohomish. Each time you visit the ale house, you may expect to find new beers and new food choices. Fred's Rivertown Ale House is well known throughout the beer community. Oftentimes, we are the first choice for breweries to introduce new beers, limited or specialty beers, and beers you just won't find anyplace else. At Fred's, we like to say that once we get you through the front door, our friendly service, relaxed family atmosphere, and our quality food and beverages will keep you coming back.
You may have heard the phrase, the early bird gets the worm. Well, at Bickford Ford, the early bird gets first crack at the new 2023 Fords. Right now, order a new 2023 Ford F-150 and move to the front of the line for America's #1 truck for the last 45 years. Or start your order on the 2023 Ranger, Edge, Bronco Sport, or Explorer. Washington's #1 volume Ford dealership. Bickford Ford on Bickford Avenue in Snohomish or at Bickford.
Come with us. The new generation. The next level. Sending it big.
You're in for a good run. Let's go.
Come with us to the track, to the trails, To the slopes, to the surf, to the fight, to the race.
Look at this!
To the 4 a.m. starts, training harder, pushing further, hitting back, hard.
I never sit on you, I get the gang on you. You better pray for it, I put that thing on you. You ever play with it?
To the fans, to the followers, and the haters.
But it doesn't matter.
Come with us. To the blood, to the sweat, and the broken bones. Cue rehab. We never quit. We never give up. We take control. To the world titles. To the world's first. The world's best.
UFC strawweight champion.
Come with us. We're just getting started.
It's going to be so much fun, I promise you.
Plumbing technicians and apprentices. Working together, learning together, masters of the craft, passing on their skills and knowledge for the trade.
I'm Gene Jr., and we are growing fast. As one of the senior techs, I really enjoy sharing and teaching, really because I'm selfish and it makes me feel good.
Getting paid to teach and learn valuable skills that can support your life, family, and dreams.
Hi, I'm Renee. I'm an apprentice, and I like to learn from all these different plumbers. I want to be a plumber to provide a good lifestyle for myself and for my future dreams.
firm up south number 3. They'll take on north number 5. Right now that's Marysville Getchell. It's the interesting one is the south number 5, which is Shorewood. They'll take on Cascade. Cascade with a win tonight. They go undefeated in the Polk Division, and there was an avenue left there for those teams to make the playoffs. And Coach, they did what they needed to do and went 8-0. I don't care what season or what division you're in. You go 8-0, you deserve to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to go undefeated in your regular season in the game of football, and they've done that. They've earned that spot, and we were talking earlier, that's a playoff game for them coming up. It won't say playoff game anywhere, but it is, in fact, that. And if they could find a way to win that, what a big win for their program.
And so that is Cascade and Shorewood. They will play on Wednesday night. Arlington takes the number 3 spot. They had a non-league game tonight against the Inglemoor Vikings. Marysville Pilchuck, north number 4, and south number 4 now will be Mount Lake Terrace by virtue of their loss then to Edmonds Woodway. Those will all get firmed up as the evening goes along and as the weekend goes along. And then we go into the playoffs and into when it's all going to be, not in the old days, Coach, when we used to know, okay, if you finish North Puget Sound number 4, you know you're going to play Wesco number 3.
Yeah, by this time, when I was coaching, you had it narrowed down to a couple teams based on a couple outcomes. It's not that way anymore.
No, it's all done by committee. Here's the kickoff. Snohomish will take it. Parker Jackson will field at the 5-yard line. 10, 15, 20, out to the 25, stays on his feet, and then gets driven back to the 20. They'll give him forward progress out for a 20-yard return out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Snohomish. And I would think, we talk about it a lot, this is the most important drive of the season for the Snohomish Panthers.
Yeah. I think if you're going to get back in this game, you've got to sustain something here, establish a good, solid run game is what Coach Hammer said they were going to need to do, and march this thing down the field.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Snohomish Panthers, moving left to right. Snohomish in the red jerseys, white pants, white helmets, white numbers, and they'll run it. Give it to Larson up the middle. Quick opener across the 30 and goes straight up the middle. Gets about a 6-yard gain out to the 31-yard line. So they wanted to establish the run, and they do that right away. Get a 6-yard gain for Kyle Larson. But it is out to the 31-yard line. Just underway, second half. Tom Lafferty along with Joel Vincent and Steve Willits. Our spotter is Jay Pulliam. Our statistician tonight is Buddy Patrick. Brandon Hamilton, our in-studio producer. And again, thanks to Tornado Ted Beener, who's going to make the long drive back from Stanwood. See, when I come back from Stanwood, I come to the Pioneer Highway. I always like to go the back road.
That is the long way.
That's a long way.
That is the long way.
I love that, in the dark. So second and 4 from the 36. Caleb Podol will get it, and he will get nothing. He'll have the door slammed in his face there. I think they're going to give forward progress back to the line of scrimmage, and that will be a 0 net gain here. Put it right back down to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, and getting to your comment, what I really heard you say is, if we ever go to Stanwood, I need to drive myself.
well, that's probably anyway.
Yeah.
So it'll be 3rd and 4. I like the Pioneer Highway coming back. 31-yard line. 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap here for Cale Hammer. Here it is. Larson to Caleb, and then Podol will head forward. He's going to get close to first down yardage. That flag comes, 2 flags come in. 5 yards should be enough for a first down. Flags came in from the front side and the back side and the side side. And they landed about the same spot right on the 30-yard line. So they're going to move the sticks.
Yeah, it's a personal foul of some kind. Murray Gordon's already telling the chain crew to get moving.
Dead ball foul, personal foul against Monroe.
Yep.
And that'll make Scott Darrow lay awake at night, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You do that against the Yelms and company, you're heading home for the season.
Well, and the simple fact is it's after the whistle, and there's no need for it.
Wow. This is going to put it from the point of the infraction, after the run, they tack it on all the way down and into Monroe territory to the 49-yard line. Here we go. 1st and 10 for Snohomish from the Monroe 49. Down 28-7. Trying to put something on the board here to start this second half. Ball's in at close to the left hash mark. They'll give it to Larson. Larson around the corner, right side. Runs into a couple of would-be tacklers. Gets out to about a 3-yard gain. They'll put him down at the 46-yard line. Ran a long way and only got 3. But again, that pretty good lateral pursuit defensively there by the Monroe Bearcats. And Larson will get 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 46-yard line. As the light rain continues to fall here in Snohomish. Cale Hammer stands in the shotgun. Larson to his left. They will give it to Larson. Flag down. Larson's going to get punched in the grill just as he got to the line of scrimmage. And then the flag comes in from the side judge here on the near sideline. I'm guessing it's going to be a false start of some description. We're lining up in the neutral zone. See what we get. As Murray Gordon is our referee. Call him the chief, the former chief.
I think we're going to get a.
What are you going to get?
I think we're going to.
They're still looking over to the far sideline. So they're deciding where the ball would be placed. So it's going to be an illegal procedure. So false start penalty against Snohomish. So do you take the play or do you take the down?
It looks like Coach Darrow's decided to take the penalty.
So that'll back him up now to the Snohomish 49-yard line. Seemed like that took a long time. You could just point that way, so we'll take it that way. So 2nd and 12 from the 49-yard line. 9:22 to go in the third quarter. Shotgun snap here for Cale Hammer. Stands alone in the pocket, throws right. Oh! The catch was made by Wyatt Doran. And then he absolutely got leveled. It was clean, but he went high in the air and then, oh man, that would hurt. And he's still laying on the sideline. He got absolutely leveled, Coach.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Just almost bent him right in half.
Yeah, backward too. So Wyatt Duran is still laying on the field. Now that he gets up and he kind of stretches and Coach, you and I would be laying in bed for the next month with chiropractor.
Do they still do traction? I'd be in traction probably. But, that tackle is made there by Deegan Chapman, and that was clean. That was clean. That's just football, and sometimes those receivers get in those awkward positions, right? Because they're extending, they're going for that ball. But that's a clean hit. Yeah, I'm glad to see that young man get up.
You go. Hey, dude, next time put it down a little lower. Go up so high to get it. So 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Back to pass Hammer, and he's going to go down. Tyler Lynch comes through. It's going to be a loss of 6. Again, back deeper into Snohomish territory, back to the 47-yard line.
And Snohomish is going to run their punt team out.
Yep.
It's a little too early in the half, and the distance is a little too great to be going for it here on 4th down.
So Caleb Podel.
I think if they were over midfield and maybe looking at a 4th and 4, 3, something like that, I think you'd see him go. But this is
14.
Yeah, this is a smart move statistically by Coach Hammer.
Oh, a high snap. He goes down and gets it. Goes back up and he kicks the football. Bounces at the 30. I don't know how he got that off. Down inside the 20, all the way down to the 16-yard line. Boy, that was a high snap, and he had to go every inch he could go up to try to field the football. Then had the presence of mind to come down and kick it.
And actually kicked it better than he did the other time before. No, that was a very athletic play by the punter there to keep that from going over his head.
Caleb Podel, the kicker and the punter. 5'10", 170-pound. He is a senior. So it's going to be 1st and 10 after the punt here for the Bearcats. So Snohomish can't do anything with their opening drive of the second half. Bearcats have it leading at 28-7 with 8:05 to play in the first half. Blake Springer gone the distance at the quarterback spot. Give it to Bo Pruitt. Pruitt up the middle. Then he's going to get gang tackled there and pushed to the ground by the Snohomish Panthers. Maybe a 2-yard gain for Bo Pruitt. I don't think he's very happy the way he got manhandled there inside. But after a 2-yard gain, puts him out pretty close to the 20-yard line. Like they're saying, 19 is where they are. After the 2-yard gain, 2nd down, 8 to go for Monroe. Edelbrock splits as a slot man to the left. He's got a wide receiver to his left. 2 wideouts to the wide side of the field. Now Edelbrock in motion. Springer rolls to the right. Looks upfield, throws. It's going to be incomplete. Mason Davis was the intended receiver. I think he tried to turn upfield before he had secured the football.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Mason Springer put that right on him. That's a catch he should make.
So incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 8 at the 19-yard line for Monroe. As they set the ball up on the left hash mark where it was previously. And a 2nd and 8 play. Again, Edelbrock in motion. Springer rolls back and throws the screen pass to Pruitt at the 20, 25, 30. Still on his feet to 35. Flag down to the 40, 45, and out to the 50-yard line. Is that 3 flags that came down?
Yeah, that's coming back.
Yeah.
What a great play call, though. On 3rd and long, run that screen. Snohomish brings pressure, brings blitz. Basically, guys blitz themselves out of the play because it's a designed screen. You just slip them in there behind the blitz, and great play call. But I think we're going to get some kind of block or a block in the back or hold.
It would have been a 31-yard play on the screen pass. Now they're figuring out who owns each of those flags that are on the field. I think you put it should be like your underwear at camp, isn't it? You put your initials in the back so you know whose flag it is. They're still talking about it. The officials are. There's 4 of them in a little conversation with Murray Gordon. The 5th guy wanted nothing to do with it. That's going to be a hold against Monroe. Okay? And from the point of the foul, but it happened upfield, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to put it back to the 26-yard line. So it must have happened at the 36. They'll put it at the 26. So it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, so it's going to make it 3rd and 1.
Still a gain of about 7 yards on the play. So 3rd and 1 will be what's coming up here. They roll the clock with 7 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. 28-7, Bearcats with a lead over the Panthers, facing a 3rd and 1. And waiting for the snap here is Springer. And here it comes. Give it to Pruitt. Pruitt on the left-hand side, 35, 40, 45, 50. At the left side is the 40, at the 30, and then he's going to be, trying to bring him down to the 25, and he said, now we've got a flag down. He said, I'm running further, another 10 yards after the initial contact at the 25-yard line. I wonder if we're going to have a face mask there. Because the defender who was trying to bring him down was running with him stride for stride, and Pruitt says, come along, let's go. That was Parker Jackson with him. And they put it all the way down to the 25. So a 49-yard run there for Bo Pruitt. And we've had more flags here in the last few minutes, and where the officials have to have a meeting about each one. And they're still chatting about it at the 25-yard line. It was a great running play. So we're going to have Murray Gordon almost gives a personal foul, another illegal helmet contact against Monroe. Much to the delight of the Monroe faithful here on hand at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Snohomish. Down in front of us. They didn't like the call. Not one of them, including all of us up here, would know that if it happened right in front of us. So it looked like it was happened behind the play. So we'll put it back at the 40-yard line. So you give them the yards, you back it up 10, you put it at the 40. It's Monroe football. 1st and 10 at the left hash mark at the Snohomish 40-yard line. Edelbrock in motion through the formation. They'll give it to Pruitt. Pruitt escapes from one man and gets to the 40. 35 at the close. He stumbles forward to the 30-yard line. May have enough for the first down. He stumbled as he got to about the 31 or 2, and then just kind of tumbled forward. Cole Taylor was there to push him out of bounds, but he's going to give him 10 1/4 yards. And that's enough to move the sticks and put it down inside the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Monroe at the 29-yard line with 6:10 to play here in this third quarter. And here they come to the line of scrimmage. Ball at the right hash mark. And at the 30, shotgun snap to Springer. Give it to Pruitt. Pruitt tries, no, check it. It's Rance. Rance has it. Across the 30, and Rance will again get gang tackled, but not until he gets for about a 4-yard gain down to the 25-yard line. So Rance on the carry. And it'll be now, after the 4-yard gain, 2nd down and about 4 yards to go at the 25. So from the 25, here comes Monroe to the line of scrimmage. We're at 5.5 to play in the third quarter. A 28-7 lead for the Bearcats. 2nd down and 6 yards to go from the 25-yard line. Edelbrock again in motion, rolling back to pass to Springer, throws it to Edelbrock, makes the catch and falls forward. Got hit as soon as he let go of got the football. He's going to get 4, needed 6. He's going to come up about 1.5 yards short or so. It's going to be, needs to get just across the 20. He's on the 21. So Gavin Maynard on the stop for the Panthers. 3rd, and we'll call it 2 at the 21. Needs to get almost to the 19-yard line. The play comes in from the far sideline. 3rd-year head coach Scott Darrow. 3rd down and 2 yards to go for the Bearcats. Shotgun snap here for Blake Springer. Got that 2, give it to Rance again. Had those 2 running backs in the backfield. I don't think he's going to get the first down.
No, they're going to mark him just short here.
Yeah, got tripped up. He's going to get a 1-yard gain. Brings up 4th down. Less than 1 yard to go at the 20-yard line for the Bearcats. First time this half we've seen that 2 running back look.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see it again here on this 4th and 1 play.
So 4th and 1 yard. Need the 19. They're at the 20. A running back on each side of Blake Springer, who calls the signals, standing in the shotgun, talking to Rance to his left, like, dude, I'm giving it to you. And now they look over to the sideline. Now they look back and ready for the snap. Talking to everybody, and Springer has it. Rance gets it, gets a first down and more at the 15-10, heads to the out-of-bounds line, gets out close to that, gets down to the 5-yard line. So whatever he was saying to Rance and Pruitt, it worked. A 14-yard gain. It'll be 1st down, goal to go for Monroe. At the 6 is where they place the football.
Yeah, that delay there, I think you're seeing the coaching staff, seeing the defensive alignment of Snohomish, and then determining based off that alignment which way they want that run to go.
The run-pass option, except that the coaches are making the decision?
Correct.
So
there they said run it right.
1st and goal at the 6. Edelbrock in motion. They'll give it to Pruitt around the left side. Kind of backtracks a little bit, and that will we've got a flag down. That'll buy Snohomish some time defensively to come up and make the stop. So it's going to be a hold here against Monroe, so that play's coming back anyway.
Well, at least we got a flag without a conference.
Yeah, that's
true. We already know what it is, and they're going to step it off.
So that'll place the football back 10 yards from the point of the foul. It's going to be out close to the 20-yard line.
Can you wear a flag out in a game?
Yeah,
Do you bring a backup with you?
You got to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get a new one tomorrow. Like, I wore this out last night.
Yeah.
So now they've moved outside the red zone. They're at the 21. So from the 21, it's 1st and goal at the 21. You don't see that a lot.
Back to single back.
Shotgun snap, back to pass to Springer. Closed off it to the left, throws it to the right. I thought it bounced. It looked like it bounced. Did they say he made the catch? Yeah, the official on the near side is saying a catch was made. So it'll be a 10-yard gain to Miller, Ryan Miller. Boy, almost looked like it bounced, didn't it?
Well, we've got a replay right here.
Let's take a look. What do you think?
No, I think he got that.
Got his hands underneath it. So it'll be second down goal to go. The boys in New York said it's okay. At the 11-yard line, throwing in the corner, incomplete. Miller was there. Also with a chance for it was Mason Davis. They were both in the neighborhood. Neither one could make the catch. It'll be an incomplete pass. Brings up third and goal at the 11-yard line. For the Bearcats, leading at 28-7, 2:22 left to go here in this third quarter at Snohomish. The late night over in Snohomish tonight with an 8 o'clock start. Snohomish After Dark. It was dark when we started. Dark when we got here. Third down and goal to go at the 11-yard line. 11th play of this drive. Back to pass. Springer sets up. Fires it down the middle. It's juggled. Did he have it? Yes. Touchdown. And Brent Boone has hauled it in. And then a flag comes in. I think a Snohomish Panther said, yeah, I don't think he, Mr. Referee, sir, I don't think he caught the football.
It might not have been said exactly like that, probably.
Well, but he was juggling it too. Did
Right,
he have? I don't know. That's tough to see if we can see that replay again. There is a flag about 8 yards deep in the end zone.
And Murray Gordon's talking to the Monroe sideline, seeing how they want it enforced.
It's going to be the touchdown counts, dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against Snohomish. Yeah, somebody said, Mr. Referee, sir. I don't know that he ever had control, Coach, when he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from that angle, but remember in high school football, you only need the 1 foot, too. So you don't need both feet. Yeah.
Okay, doesn't matter. They hung 6 up on the board, and we'll have the addition of the extra point here. Ryland Hampton to kick it. The spot down, the kick is up, and it is good. So with 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the third quarter, our score, the Monroe Bearcats 35, the Snohomish Panthers 7. Back with more from Snohomish after this timeout.
The phrase, the early bird gets the worm. Well, at Bickford Ford, the early bird gets first crack at the new 2023 Fords. Right now, order a new 2023 Ford F-150 and move to the front of the line for America's #1 truck for the last 45 years. Or start your order on the 2023 Ranger, Edge, Bronco Sport, or Explorer. Washington's #1 volume Ford dealership. Bickford Ford on Bickford Avenue in Snohomish or at bickford.net.
Unless you want to work on it. So here is the approach by Ryland Hampton. He will kick it away. And it will indeed
almost
land out.
Almost went through the uprights.
Yeah. It never landed on the field of play, went out the back. So let's go take a look at that scoring drive by the Monroe Bearcats.
Bearcats 83 yards in 11 plays, 6 on the ground, 5 through the air, taking 5 minutes and 48 seconds off of the clock. A 6-yard touchdown pass from Blake Springer to Trent Bublitz. Ryland Hampton's point after was good with 2:17 to go here in the third quarter. It's Monroe 35, Snohomish 7.
Scoring recap brought to you by Smoky Point Concrete. They've been part of a strong foundation for more than 4 decades. Let's keep building. Teams and community, SmokyPointConcrete.com. First and 10, Snohomish from the 20-yard line to start this drive. Play fake, and they will keep it. Cale Hammer will and get a couple of yards out to the 22-yard line. Snohomish, who lost to Glacier Peak to open the season 42-13, then won games over Mountlake Terrace, Shorecrest, Edmonds Woodway, and Linwood. Then the homecoming game against Liberty lost 49-19. Lost last week to Shorewood 46-21, and down here 35-7 with coming up on a minute and a half to play in the third quarter. Second down, 8 yards to go from the 22-yard line. Shotgun snap back for Hammer. Throws the distance down the left-hand side. That's Jackson. Jackson makes the catch at the 45-yard line. Eludes a man and heads downfield. At the 40, down the center of the field, at the 35, at the 30. Stays on his feet all the way down to close to the 25-yard line. Partner Jackson, 53 yards, came back and got it, and then headed upfield. He's got some wheels, and he got it all the way down to the 25-yard line. Nice looking play. Jackson eluded 1, 2, 3. Then a couple of more guys, Coach, as he headed downfield.
Nifty piece of running there after the catch for sure.
Off the right hash at the 25-yard line. It's 1st and 10. They don't have the chain set yet. And they're running the play. They'll run it up the middle. Strat will carry down to about the 22. Give him a 3-yard gain of the play. They ran that play before the chains were even set on the far sideline. Yeah, they're excited. They're ready to go.
Well, they need to be. They've got to be in a hurry here.
With 50 seconds to play in the third quarter. Down by a 35-7 score. Trip set to the left on a second down and 7 yards to go. Shotgun snap for Cale Hammer. Give it to Brody Strant. No, check it. It was Hammer kept it. It was a good fake. Hammer kept the football. Went right straight up the middle. Boy, he put it deep into the belly of Strand, and then he said, no, I'm gonna keep it myself and get a couple. Brings up 3rd and about 5 at the 20-yard line. Right up to the line of scrimmage they come again. Panthers down 35-7, final play probably of this third quarter. With Hammer getting the shotgun snap, sets up, looks right, then a pass is gonna be incomplete. He had it, turned to head upfield, then the ball was stripped out of there. So an incomplete pass with 1 second to go. Gavin Maynard was the intended receiver. Who was there, Coach?
Deegan Chapman again. Number 6 has played a really solid game at corner for Monroe tonight.
So with 1 second to go, this will indeed be the final play of the third quarter. And it's a 4th down play at the 20-yard line.
Not so fast. There's a defensive penalty. We'll do another one.
I know. 4th down. Trip set to the left on 4th and 5 at the 20-yard line. Back to pass. Hammer throws. No. Caleb Podol was the intended receiver. Incomplete pass. That is the final play of the third quarter. Fourth quarter coming up from Snohomish with the Bearcats of Monroe leading the Panthers of Snohomish 35-7. Fourth quarter coming up next right here on KRKO. Shut out by Cedar Woolley 48-0. Anacortes beat Burlington Edison 26-7. Linden beat Lakewood 48-3. Kings beat Granite Falls 56-0. We'll give you the Coopville score here in a moment. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as they'll run the football. Monroe will around the left-hand side. Mason Davis up the left-hand side to 40, 45, and the 50 is pushed out of bounds into the Monroe bench all the way into Snohomish territory down close to the 40-yard line.
Yep, jet sweep.
39-yard run. as he gets all the way down, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 38 yards, correction. It's a stepped out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Coopville beat LaConner 78-0 tonight. I know. At the 42
I don't know what to say.
Yeah. First and 10 for Monroe. Bearcats at the Snohomish 42-yard line. Springer rolls to the right, throws. It's going to be complete, juggled, and stepping out of bounds. Snohomish is saying incomplete. What's the official saying?
The official's saying incomplete.
Okay, so I guess everybody's in agreement on that one. We weren't sure on the touchdown catch. This one, he's juggling. Yeah, he never really had the football. There's a bunch of guys with red jerseys on that were saying incomplete, too. Everybody knows those official signals. Incomplete, incomplete, incomplete. Second and 10 at the 42 for the Bearcats. Blake Springer's gone the distance here at quarterback. And they're facing a second and 10 from the 42-yard line. Edelbrock in motion. Drops back, throws the screen. Rance makes a catch. There's a flag. Now the 35 down close to first down yardage at the 31-yard line. Surprise, surprise, there's a flag down on that screen play. The 11-yard gain if it stands. The officials are having another meeting at the 45-yard line. And Murray Gordon will tell us an illegal shift penalty against Monroe. So two guys in motion at the same time. Edelbrock's been in motion just about since he got off the bus.
Yeah, he's running a lot tonight.
Yeah, his Fitbit is full up. So that's going to back it up. See where they're finally spot the football down. I think it's just going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Should be a 5-yard penalty, yeah.
Okay. It looked like they were looking to put it elsewhere, but it's going to be at the 47-yard line. A 5-yard penalty brings up second down, 15 yards to go at the left hash of Snohomish. Bearcats in Panther territory. We're 21 seconds into the fourth and final quarter. They wind the clock. Second and 15. Springer stands in the shotgun. Has Rance to his left, and he gives it to Rance up the middle at the 40, at the 35-30. Escapes the man at the 20, at the 15, the 10, the 5. Looks at the pylon. Does he go in? Did they say? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Monroe.
What a fantastic run.
47 yards by Rance. He stiff-armed a couple of guys, coach, and found that orange pylon.
Yeah, that run had a little bit of everything. It had acceleration, it had stiff arms, it had pretty nifty footwork, and then, of course, finding that pylon at the end. That run was a pretty good run for a high school kid.
And we're going to tell Todd that we want to see that one again after the extra point. We're going to keep it right here coming up for the timeout here. Take another look at that run. Waiting for the addition of the extra point. It's up, and it is good. So 11 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the game. 42-7, the Bearcats with the lead over the Panthers. Here it is, Coach.
Yeah, and it's well blocked. You see those receivers blocking downfield. Okay, a little bit of a stiff arm here, and then diving out, finding that pylon. Yeah, wow, what a great play.
And you have to coach that all the way down, right? Every one of those guys needs to be coached.
Yeah, they all need to be coached. Those linemen are getting downfield. Look at this. They're downfield. They're on people. Your receivers are blocking. And that's a really big thing with these receivers at this level. They all want to catch the ball, but you got to block too, and they did that. And just a really athletic run there by Gavin Rance.
So Rance with the touchdown. We'll take a look at that scoring drive with Buddy Patrick.
And Monroe goes 80 yards in 3 plays, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air, taking 40 seconds off of the clock. A 48-yard run by Gavin Rance. Hampton's kick was good, and with 11:20 to go here in the third, it's Monroe 42, Snohomish 7. And just really quick, some running stats. Gavin Rance breaks the 100 mark with 8 carries, 2 touchdowns, 113 yards. Bo Pruitt, 14 carries, 3 touchdowns for 123 yards, 300 total rushing yards for the Bearcats.
Scoring recap brought to you by Everett Engineering. Proudly growing with the Pacific Northwest and now hiring. Go to everettengineering.com for open positions. The kick, Parker Jackson takes it at the 5, 10, up to the 20. He's not going to get quite the return he had the last time. They'll give him progress out to about the 23-yard line. Again, Everett Engineering, proudly growing with the Pacific Northwest, and now hiring. Go to everettengineering.com for open positions. everettengineering.com, equal opportunity employer. So Snohomish now facing a 1st and 10. They're also facing a 3-game losing streak heading into the postseason. Next week they will be home, though, against, well, nobody, the Stanwood Spartans.
It doesn't get any easier.
No, it doesn't. So from the 24, back to pass. New quarterback in there. It's going to be incomplete. As David Hammer now in. He's taken the place of Cale Hammer. And I'm going to be honest here, I can't remember if it's cousin or brother. But all the Hammers have been out since all the dads played too here. So 2nd and 10 after David Hammer's incomplete pass. Slot man to the right, double wideouts to the narrow side of the field here to the near side. They're going to give it to Larson. No, it's going to be a drop. I think it was. Monroe says they have the football.
Yeah, it was dropped on the exchange between the running back and the wing on the inside double handoff crisscross play.
Brendan Shepard is the man to be there. Fall on the football. Let's take a look at that one again.
That's just
never happened.
Yeah, the exchange there between Larson and Podol just didn't happen, and the ball ended up on the ground. And Brendan Shepard was Johnny on the spot, fell on it right there.
And Blake Springer remains in the ball game. And Rance is to his left. Here it's 1st and 10. They start this drive in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Mason Davis around the corner. He's fast. He gets to the 10. He gets to the 5. Another flag comes in from the, actually that was from the back judge who threw that flag. Looks like about a 15-yard gain if the play stands. Not sure it's gonna. We've got a lot of laundry on the field today. That's going to be a hold. No, an illegal block in the back against the Monroe Bearcats. Did you see it on the replay, or could you catch it?
Yeah, I caught it. It seemed to, I didn't catch the number, but one of the outside receivers for Monroe seemed to have blocked in the back there on that run.
So they will mark off the penalty here.
From the spot of infraction.
Yeah, which was way downfield.
So
out to the 20-yard line, they will place it.
1st and 12.
Yeah, 1st and 12 at the 20. 42-7 lead for the Bearcats over the Panthers. And Monroe will try again. Springer stands in the shotgun. Waiting for the snap here. Here it comes. New man in there, up the middle. That's Moser. Mouser will carry. He was our player of the game over for the game against the Kamiak Knights. He goes right straight up the middle. Close to first down yardage. He's going to get 10. Put him down to the 10-yard line. So Mouser on the carry. Brings up 2nd and 2 for the Bearcats. They come up to the line of scrimmage. Ball at the left hash mark. So sideline to the left, running room out to the right. They got 2 wide receivers split both ways. Now they put Edelbrock in motion, and they'll run it to the right side as he carries it at the 10. Cuts back against the grain there, close to about the 6-yard line. I think they're going to give enough forward progress to make it to the 6. That might be enough for a first down. He's going to go to the 8. Okay, so a 2-yard gain. Put him down at the 8-yard line. Not enough for a first down, though. It's going to be, or is it? Are they going to drop the stakes there? They are. It's going to be a first down. So first down goal to go at the 8-yard line. The down box still says 3, but it's first down goal to go at the 8. Ball at the right hash. They get the down box corrected. It's first down and goal. As Springer waits for the snap. And here it comes. Mauser gets it right side, cuts back at the 5, gets stood up at about the 1, then he drops the football. But they're going to say touchdown after he was in.
Yeah, they're going to say he crossed the plane.
That's a touchdown for the Bearcats. Yeah. We just got the signal there from Murray Gordon. He said, yeah, finally. It took him a while to decide that, yes, it was a touchdown. And that will put us at 48-7. We'll go to running clock the rest of this.
Yeah, the replay shows he's extending that ball out over the plane, and it really comes out when he hits the ground.
Waiting for the addition of the extra point by Ryland Hampton. As they've had enough extra points, and finally there's a guy, a late arrival.
I was just going to say, as many as they kick, you wouldn't think they'd forget to be out there.
Here comes the snap, the kick on the way, and it is good. With 9 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the game, our score now, the Monroe Bearcats 49, the Snohomish Panthers 7. We return to Veterans Memorial Stadium in Snohomish after this timeout. Okay.
Well, you were right.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
You may have heard the phrase, the early bird gets the worm. Well, at Bickford Ford, the early bird gets first crack at the new 2023 Fords. Right now, order a new 2023 Ford F-150 and move to the front of the line for America's #1 truck for the last 45 years. Or start your order on the 2023 Ranger, Edge, Bronco Sport, or Explorer. Washington's #1 volume Ford dealership. Bickford Ford on Bickford Avenue in Snohomish or at bickford.net.
Because of the smoke problems here yesterday, moving the Jackson Glacier Peak game to earlier today. They played at 4 o'clock and then at 8 p.m. Here's the approach by Hampton. The kick is away. It's going to be Parker Jackson at the 5, dropped it, goes back, retrieves it, he heads upfield to 10. That gave a chance for all the Monroe guys to converge on him, and it gets out to close to the 15-yard line. Buddy Patrick has a look at that scoring drive.
And the Bearcats 18 yards after that fumble by Snohomish. 3 plays all on the ground, taking a minute 46 off of the clock. An 8-yard run by Nick Mauser, the third running back for Monroe with a touchdown in this game. Hampton's kick was good, and with 9:14 to go here into the running clock in the fourth quarter, the Bearcats 49, Snohomish 7.
Scoring recap brought to you by Glass by Lund, family owned and operated since 1967, offering the best price, value, and quality installation online at glassbylund.com. Clock is moving as they'll run the football on a 1st and 10 around the right-hand side. Larson carries out across the 20. Kyle Larson, give him about a 5-yard gain, put him at the 21-yard line. So running clock, second half, up by more than 40 or more points. You can't buy your way out of it. And actually, by agreement in the first game, they decided if it went to running clock in the first half, that it did. And so Glacier Peak got the win 55-0 with more than a half of running clock. Second down, 4 yards to go at the 21-yard line for the Panthers. David Hammer, the quarterback, drops back to pass, throws it left-hand side. That's going to be Caleb Podol, who will make the catch at the 25. Close to first down yardage. He'll get another 5 yards, and that'll move the sticks. Panthers with a first down. Both teams now going with David. So you've got the family tree, Steve?
I've got enough of the family tree to know that Joey Hammer does have a son named David, so I'm assuming that's him.
Okay.
We did have a picture of them on Prep Sports Weekly last year that I went back and looked at.
Okay, there you go. Back to pass. Throwing. Looked like it may have been partially deflected. White Duran makes a catch at the 30, heads upfield. Maybe have enough for a first down again. See where he stepped out of bounds just across the 35-yard line. That's going to be an 11-yard gain.
It's good to see that young man making that catch there. He was the one that earlier got hit pretty good.
Yeah.
So to see him up and still running and catching balls. That's a good thing.
Running clock. We're inside 7 minutes to play in regulation time here. 49-7 Bearcats will take the number 1 spot out of the South Division. They'll play Ferndale next week over at Monroe High School. Back to pass. David throws it. Hammer, incomplete. Had really a lot of white shirts in the area. Incomplete pass. Brings up now 2nd down and 10. And clock moves. Next week, while the 3A crossovers are happening, we're going to have what should be a great ball game between Glacier Peak and Lake Stevens.
Yeah, I think it sizes up to be a really good one, actually.
2nd down, 10 yards to go from the 35-yard line for Snohomish. Back to pass. David Hammer throws it with all his might down the left sideline. Incomplete. Caleb Hodel was intended receiver. Malachi Mayfield was in on the coverage. I almost felt like Podol stepped out of bounds and was coming back inbounds. Didn't matter. It was an incomplete pass. 3rd down, 10 yards to go at the 35-yard line for Snohomish. Panthers up to the line of scrimmage. Trip set out to the right side, off the left hash on a 3rd and 10 play. David Hammer, kind of a low snap. Pumps once, now throws. Downfield, puts it into traffic, incomplete. And then we're going to have, Parker Jackson, the intended receiver. Did he interfere? We're going to have offensive pass interference?
No, I think we're going to get defensive pass interference there. So let's go to the replay here.
Okay.
Sorry for you folks out in the radio audience, but I think this Monroe defender is going to kind of shield him off here as he's trying to come back.
He was trying to come back to get the football.
Yeah,
defensive pass interference. Flag came in right away. Murray Gordon, as you mentioned, the chief, former fire chief in the city of Everett. And so with the pass interference play, that's going to move the ball 15 yards.
Give him a new set of downs.
And it'll put it at the 50-yard line. They're at the 35, it'll go to the 50. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line for the Panthers. This time double wideouts to the narrow side of the field and the near side, standing above the numbers. Back to pass. Looking, throwing, complete at the 40. Cody Strant will get another 1st down as he stepped out of bounds right around the 35-yard line. Put him out of bounds at the 34. It's a 16-yard gain. Snohomish with kind of their best-looking drive since the opening few minutes of this game when they came and tied the score. Monroe took the early lead. Snohomish tied it. Then it's been Monroe ever since with 6 unanswered. 34-yard line, 1st and 10. David Hammer drops back out of the shotgun. Goes to Parker Jackson, comes back, gets a football at the 15, down to about the 12-yard line. Jackson got it, then he'll help the defender up. That's a 22-yard pass play from David Hammer to Parker Jackson. And they're down inside the 10 or inside the 15-yard line. Put them at the 12.
And if you're Snohomish, you got to like what you're seeing out of this young sophomore quarterback.
Yeah. 1st and 10 at the 12 for Snohomish. David Hammer, here's the snap. Drops back, looking to the end zone. Still looking, lofts it over to the left corner. Parker Jackson intercepted by Monroe. The defender was right and stepped in front of Parker Jackson. And Mason Davis was the intended receiver. No, excuse me, Parker Jackson. Oh, Mason Davis got the interception. Is that what we're saying? Yeah. Mason Davis with the interception. Parker Jackson, the intended receiver. Monroe football.
And my apologies to the young quarterback for the broadcaster's hex there.
Yeah, thanks. He's really good.
Yeah.
Intercepted. Oh, well.
Well, he showed me enough on that drive. He's going to be a good one in the future for them.
Yep. At the 20-yard line, now it'll be 1st and 10. The clock continues to move in the running clock situation here. 42-point lead for Monroe. We're down to 2:22 to play in the game.
Springer's still in.
Which is strange to me. So from the 20-yard line, we'll give it to Rance. Rance will carry, get a couple of yards. I should give officially 1. So it'll be second down, 9 yards to go. The Monroe faithful down in front of us have all turned on the flashlights on their phones and waving those around. Second down and 9 yards to go at the 21-yard line. Kind of a high snap. Rance will run it around the right side. Oh, takes a big hit at the 23-yard line. Gus Hansen came up and just leveled him. Gain of a few, put him out to the 25-yard line. Was it Nathan Lindsay?
Yeah, I believe it was Nathan Lindsay.
Nathan Lindsay. Yeah, it's been a long night. We've been here a long time. 3rd and 5 at the 25-yard line. Coming up on a minute to play in the game. Ball at the right hash. We'll have whistles now before the ball gets snapped. So it'll be a false start against the Bearcats. And let's start talking about player of the game. Steve, what do you like?
I'll tell you, can I vote for 2 tonight?
You can vote for as many as you want.
You know what? I'll tell you, offensively, there's a lot of options. I vote Pruitt, though, especially when you take into account that 60-yard kickoff return he had also. I'll tell you what, on defense, a name that maybe didn't get called a lot tonight, but he was all over the field. Noah Berry, number 3. He did have an interception in the second quarter. He dropped back into coverage. Middle linebacker has been sideline to sideline. He's run down the field. He's made special teams tackles. He's really opened my eyes tonight.
I'm with you.
I second that.
There you go.
Yeah, I think Barry's played a heck of a ball game, and how do you go wrong with Pruitt?
And you know what, guys? Since we are doing a simulcast, I also have STSPN's got a lineman of the game shirt to give away, and I asked one of the coaches, who's your lineman vote? And he voted for Ryland Hampton, who also kicked 7 extra points, so we can even throw him in as a bonus and give him the STSPN lineman of the Snohomish. There you go.
We'll do that as well.
You're going to be a busy guy.
Yes, sir.
Ryland Hampton, who scored as many points tonight as the Snohomish Panthers as the ball game draws to a close, and the Monroe Bearcats win at 49-7. So Monroe, the number 1 team out of the Wesco 3A South Division. They will take on Ferndale, the number 1 team from the North Division, next week in the seeding game. We'll step aside for a minute or so as Steve gathers up our players of the game. Again, the final score, 49-7, Monroe over Snohomish. Post-game show coming up right after this.
You may have heard the phrase, the early bird gets the worm. Well, at Bickford Ford, the early bird gets first crack at the new 2023 Fords. Right now, order a new 2023 Ford F-150 and move to the front of the line for America's #1 truck for the last 45 years. Or start your order on the 2023 Ranger, Edge, Bronco Sport, or Explorer. Washington's #1 volume Ford dealership. Bickford Ford on Bickford Avenue in Snohomish or at bickford.net.
We at Gene Johnson are here and ready to help with our touch-free service. Being clean and safe are at the top of our minds. We're using gloves, masks, shoe covers, and lots of hand sanitizer. Our software allows us to get your approval without any physical contact. We hope you don't need us, but if you do, we're ready. Gene Johnson, clean, on time, and professional.
Memorial Stadium, where tonight the final score 49-7. The Monroe Bearcats defeat the Snohomish Panthers. Monroe is gathered around their coaches down on the west sideline. Steve Willits is down on the field. He'll be talking to the head coach and our players of the game coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Tom Lafferty along with Joel Vincent. Steve again on the sideline. And coach, really, Snohomish and Monroe, even for that first quarter, then Monroe just went on a tear.
Yeah, I thought we were in for a much closer ball game early, and it didn't really turn out like that, did it? But I think from what we've seen this year, and I'll issue a disclaimer, we haven't seen everybody, but I think it's pretty evident that Monroe is kind of the class of this Wesco 3A at this point.
Wesco 3A, north and south, both.
I would say, because we've seen Stanwood, and I've seen Ferndale.
Yep.
I'd take Monroe.
Really?
I would.
So you're going to take Monroe over Ferndale next week?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think what Monroe does is very similar in their offense to what Glacier Peak does, and that gave Ferndale fits. Monroe's not a power run team; they're a spread team, and that gave that gave Ferndale a lot of trouble. So, if I had to pick it, that's what I would pick, I think.
Okay, that'll be interesting. So those two teams will play by virtue of Ferndale's 28-7 win over Stanwood. So it will be Ferndale at Monroe next Friday night. Meanwhile, the Snohomish Panthers will be home, and they will take on the Stanwood Spartans. Stanwood, they're awfully darn good.
Yeah, I mean, they're both coming off losses, obviously, from tonight, but I'd be a little bit more concerned if I was Snohomish with where they're at. I mean, they're on a 3-game skid here, and that's not the way you want to enter the crossovers of the postseason.
But the nice part about the top two spots is they both do automatically go into the Week 10 crossover games. So the seeding games are just for seeding.
Yeah, it's not win or go home, but Snohomish has just got to find a way to get this thing turned around.
Right. And so see if they can next week. And so, again, Steve is down on the field and awaiting the coaching staff to be done, talking to his team. Then we'll get our players to the game. And the winning coach of the Monroe Bearcats as well. The Snohomish fans down to our right have gathered out on the field. The Monroe Bearcats, their fans were here all dressed in white tonight. They're out on the field waiting to talk to the team. It's a long meeting down there on the goal line for the Bearcats. And I'm sure they're talking about it doesn't get tougher from here, boys.
Yeah.
It's good. Talk about your mindset now when you start going into the playoffs. You did it for years and years.
Yes, sir. Go to the
Coach
fans.
Jackson.
Yeah. I really would emphasize with my teams the little things. We've got to do the little things right, because as I was mentioning earlier, the games that you are faced with from now on, the margin for error is zero, and you're going to be matched up each week that you progress with a team that's as good as you, or maybe even on paper is better than you. So you've got to go out and play as close a perfect game as you can, and that includes the little things like cleaning up penalties, making sure that when balls hit you in the hands that you catch them. Of course this game's about blocking and tackling and all those other things, but a lot of times in those playoff games it just comes down to one catch, one penalty, one fumble, is the difference in that game. And so really stressing, the offense is in, the defense is in, so let's really fine-tune things. Let's get this thing as near perfect as we can.
Now, do you also shorten up your practices? You won't go for 2.5 hours?
No, by this time of the year, you don't need to be going 2.5 hours. I don't think you do anyway. You might spend a little more time in meeting time watching film of your opponent coming up, but you can cut practice time down because by this time of the year, people better know how to tackle, right? People better know how to block. And not saying that you wouldn't do those in practice, but you're probably going to cut those individual periods down a little bit, and then you can cut your team sessions down too into just the stuff that you really, really want to work on.
Okay, Okay, let's go down the field to Steve Willett.
All right, the winning coach right now, and he is heading to the Wesco 3A championship game. Second year in a row. Last year it was a three-way tie, so it was the whole draw procedure. It's outright this time, Coach. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, we feel good, man. We feel good. Just, again, you make it look easy, I guess. Our kids make it look easy, and we're proud of those guys for that. It's a lot of work, man. A lot of work goes into this. And we got some talent, obviously. These guys worked their butts off all off season, since spring, really since winter, I guess, last year. And so proud of these guys. A little sloppy tonight, but a win's a win, and we'll take it.
You were talking about the rust in the first half. I didn't see much rust in the second half. Obviously, you came out here and you put on 3 more touchdowns pretty quickly. Tell me about how you're feeling overall right now, just in terms of going into next week. Pretty good Snohomish team over there, and you just running clocked them.
Well, we're not satisfied. We had a lot of penalties, some stuff we had to clean up, and we will do that. It wasn't necessarily our best game in that regard. Shot ourselves a few times, but we're talented, and I think the big thing we have right now going for us, the character of these kids, it's phenomenal. They're so bought in. They're just so hungry. They play so well together. Our senior leadership's so incredible. So that stuff is hard to coach.
Like they're already trying to celebrate over here. Offensively too, we were talking about it earlier. Running the ball, I think you had close to 300 yards rushing. You can throw it through there. You can do so many different things too. That's got to be a nice thing to have going into a playoff situation.
Oh, absolutely. We try to be balanced. I know we got some sexy names throwing the ball over here. This guy with the beard right here behind you. But our run game is pretty phenomenal. We got some guys that can really tote the rock, and our offensive line's, I think, really underrated. So, yeah, we can do a lot of things, which we're really excited about.
Last year, you had to go up north to play Ferndale in that crossover game. This year, they're coming to your place. How excited are you to have your fan base there for a 1-versus-1 game?
No. Last year, we went to Ferndale twice and played.
That's right. You did play. It was split, right? So this is the rubber game, right?
Yeah. Hey, we are excited to not go to Blaine again because that was a rough, long bus ride. So, we're excited to play Ferndale. They're a great team. Surprised they beat Stanwood, to be honest. Stanwood's a great team, too. So, yeah, we'll see, man. Whoever we got, we're going to give them our best shot.
Your fans might be listening right now. 7 days from now, where do you want those fans to be, and why should they be at Monroe Stadium?
Oh, our fans are going to show up. They're going to be ready to go. It's going to be a sea of orange and black, and we can't wait, man. It's always a party out in Monroe, so we're excited to see those guys out. It's going to be a lot of mullets flying in the air, a lot of good home, country celebrating. So we can't wait.
So how does Coach Darrow celebrate this over the weekend?
I'm going to watch a lot of film.
There we go, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and now, if we could, guys, we've got our players of the game. We've got an offensive and a defensive player of the game. Bo Pruitt tonight. Can you guys give me the numbers one more time, too, real quick? 3 touchdowns, right?
Yes, here we go. Buddy Patrick.
Stats for Bo Pruitt.
Buddy, you're still on the job, right?
Yeah. I'm here. Bo Pruitt goes 14 carries, 123 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
123, 3 touchdowns. Big kick return to start things off, too, tonight. How are you feeling right now? You guys just won the West Coast South.
I'm happy. Yeah, I feel a little beat up, but other than that, I'm good.
Well, you're not the biggest guy in the world, right? What are the measurements? Weight and height?
5'5", 160.
5'5", 160, and I do like the fact that jersey never seems to rip off of you, right? You got the stretch jersey for a reason there?
Nah. I just use the jersey because it's my brother's one. Yeah.
Tell me about what it was like out there tonight. You set the tone early. That kickoff return. Watched you guys play Edmonds one-way last week. They kicked it to Mason Davis. He took it 90 yards to the house to opening game. How is it to have the two of you back there together? Because really, a kicker can't really avoid one of you. You got to kick to one of you, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's fun. Whoever it goes to, we just know we about to take it back. I don't know. We just really confident in ourselves.
Yeah. Noah Berry's chiming in here too. What was that?
Those two roll right here. They're packed tight. Those two are as close as can be. Those two love each other, so they work well together.
Very cool. And now your brother's played football. Your brother played football here too. He's at Washington State right now. What is it like for you to be able to carry on the tradition and to get another Monroe championship here?
I feel good. Yeah, just happy to represent my last name and keep the legacy.
There we go. We're going to keep him here for a minute, too. And we might have a bonus here because Mr. Springer's coming over here in a moment, too. Do you want to talk to Noah Berry, the defensive player of the game? And Noah, I don't know how many tackles you had. We'll have to go back and count them. You must have been in the 12 to 14 range. You were all over the field tonight. Talk about just being out there and hitting guys. You look like a guy that likes contact.
Oh, man. I mean, I've loved this sport ever since I jumped in. I jumped in about, like, I say, 7th grade. And, I mean, part of the reason why we flow so well out here is the guys that I work with, I've been working with since that first day. You know, all these seniors up here, I've loved for, like, my entire life, and I've been working with them forever. So they're a big part of what keeps us going and keeps the gears turning. So I love to be a part of that, and it's what drives me to do what I do out here.
Talk about the linebacking core together, because I know a few different times you and Biggie, it's almost like one of you goes high, one of you goes low, and the guy goes down almost instantly. I know Mouser gets out there too. We talked to him last time we did the broadcast. What's it like playing with those guys?
Man, these guys, like the skill level and ability out here with these linebackers runs this defense. You know, you got us play calling, you got us making adjustments, you got us doing everyone's job at the same time as they do. And I could not give enough credit to my boy Biggie and my guy Mauser come in, and he's never played outside linebacker before, and he has made a name for himself. And Biggie, I could not do it. I cannot do without him. I got him written on my wrist every game, my right-hand man. He's the guy that I go out there with every time, and he hits hard, and he's my guy. He's my go-to.
Talk about playing special teams, too, because you're not a guy that necessarily comes off the field. I noticed you made a couple of tackles on kickoffs tonight. I know you're blocking on PATs. You just like to play, right?
Oh, I love it. You know, even at the end of the game, you know, we're up by 40, 41 points, 42 points, and I will not come out on that. That is too fun to go in on. You know, you get an extra chance just to run down there and zigzag through them and make a hit on someone. It's always too fun. So that's my favorite thing to go out there.
And I do want to mention two more plays too. One in particular, end of the second quarter. They're late in the second quarter. Middle linebacker, and you were quite a ways downfield. You dropped back into protection and got a pick down the field there. How much fun is that for an inside linebacker?
Oh man, just looking at it down in distance, I just knew like where it was going. I could see the quarterback's eyes, and I dropped to his hip, and that was a great moment. You know, I was hoping the offense turn around and score that. A few mistakes here and there, but the fact that we got that stop there was just a game changer. So I'm happy we did.
And there was one other play later in the game in the second half where I think they had like a 50-yard reception, and you ran down the field. Well, it could have maybe been a potential touchdown-saving tackle. You're way up at that point. It's way down the field. You could have easily taken the play off, but you went down there and made a tackle.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way you have to do it. We were out of that play specific. We were out of position. We had some linemen actually on the wrong side of the line, so I ended up having to come crack down and replace some of them on the edge. But I watched that ball come over, and part of the reason why we were out of position was you know, the DBs being out of position too. But they made the adjustment. They were there. The Snohomish guy made a play on the ball, and you got to get down the field, and you got to do something, because as you can see, that guy comes running across that line. You got to hit him. So,
what are you expecting from Ferndale next week? 1-versus-1. Last year, you guys played 1-versus-1, but it was based on a draw. There's three-way ties on both sides. This year, it's outright. How much fun are you looking forward to this game?
Oh man, I am so excited for this game. I've been begging for Ferndale to take that win so I can go back there. But they're coming to us, and I am so excited for that. And there's nothing that I could say about that. I'm ready to hit them again. They're a team, and they're a solid team, and I am ready for that challenge.
There you go. He's ready for the challenge. Multiple tackles tonight. An interception, was all over the field, sideline to sideline, down the field, special teams. Noah Berry, thank you for your time. You are one of our players of the game.
Thank you. Awesome.
Back to you guys.
Okay, thanks very much, Steve. Are you going to do one more? You're going to do one more?
Yeah, let's. I'm going to get I'll tell you what, I'll throw it back to you guys while I get a photo here really quick, and then we'll come right back.
Okay.
Defense, and I had a guy miss a line, and I had to replace, and whatever. Boy, his football IQ is high. You can't have enough of those guys, I'll tell you.
That was pretty cool, and we're going to be talking with the quarterback here in a moment as well. And coming up, we're going to take a look at the scoring plays in this one. We'll take a look at the stats. We've also got to look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Just about everything has gone final. We were a late
we'll
start
get Blake Springer here too.
And we're going to go back now to Steve.
Okay, let's get the quarterback over here. He's been a very big focal part of what they've been doing all season long. Blake Springer, you've been throwing the ball all over the field all season, and now you are the Wesco 3A South champion outright. Last year, you guys tied for it. You're smiling right now as I say that. What does this mean for you?
It feels great. You know, last year we had to come out as co-champs, and that was not something we were satisfied with. So coming into this game, we knew we had the chance to win it outright, and we prepared all week. We battled through adversity, practicing in the gym, we practiced in the gym 4 days last week, so it was pretty tough. But we came out, battled adversity, battled through it, and came out and won it outright. So it feels really good.
You just mentioned it. Coach Darrow talked about it earlier. For a quarterback, especially one that likes to throw down the field, how difficult is that knowing that you can't go out and throw routes with your guys leading up to the biggest game of the year?
You know, it's kind of tough, but with the receivers I've got, I've thrown to them all since I was a little kid, probably 6 or 7 years old. So we've got that timing down. We've got it built up. So I think we came in being pretty confident even after the practice in the gym because we've done it so much.
Your yardage probably wasn't up quite as high as it's been at other times this year, but tonight the running game, was that something you guys saw on film? Was it something that was talked about coming into the game tonight?
Yeah, our running game is a very, very key point of our offense, and those stats don't bother me at all. If coming out with a win like this and having our guys, Bo have 3, and we have 2 other running backs score a touchdown. We had 5 touchdowns total on the ground. I love that just as much as throwing 5 touchdowns. There's nothing that makes me happier than seeing those guys break a touchdown.
Well, the nice thing for you is you have so many weapons, too. I mean, not just in terms of Bo and when Rance is out there, but the guys that you're throwing to also, a plethora of guys to throw to on any given night, any given play, really. How much fun is that? Do the guys come to you sometimes and try to get you to throw the ball a little more to them?
Yeah, so, I mean, we got options everywhere. It's tough for a defense to try to pick people to focus on because we've got so many of them. And even if some guys go down, we got replacements. And, yeah, those guys, we always want to throw the ball around, but if run game's working, we're going to stick it with it. And
I did want to ask you, too, because I know Coach mentioned it earlier this season when we were talking to him. You're kind of a legacy kid. I think Dad used to coach on the staff, correct?
Yeah, he was when Coach Bumpus was here. I think he was an offensive coordinator for a little bit. But so I've grown up around the program. I love it. It's awesome. I'm excited to be on this stage instead of being that guy on the sideline, ball boy.
So does it mean that much more to you to be wearing that Bearcats jersey, knowing that you've been around it since a kid and knowing where you guys are going right now?
Yeah, it's awesome. I've watched every single season of this town, like playing high school football since I was 5. So it's nice coming up here and seeing what we can do and come out with an undefeated regular season. It's awesome.
There we go. So it's awesome. I'm going to let him go. Also, we're going to name him the STSPN Player of the Game because we do have another shirt since we simulcasted. So going to get some photos with these guys down here. We still have Bo Pruitt, Noah Berry. We have Blake Springer right here. Blake, congratulations. Best of luck against Ferndale.
Thank you.
There we go. Thanks very much, Steve.
than that, just the knees, especially with Snohomish's defense. When they start to get down, they start cut blocking, and it's crucial when it's the knees.
Do you feel things a little bit less when it's 49-7?
Yes, definitely. I don't really feel anything during the game. It's after the game, everything, all at once. The head, the knees, the legs, the arms, the back, everything.
You guys have a bunch of weapons on this team. You got a couple different two running backs that went over 100 yards. You got Blake that was throwing the ball all over the field tonight. What is it like to block out there for a team like this?
Oh, it's so much fun. I love just like giving my team time. It's just surreal. You never believe, like me and Blake Springer, we've been on the sideline since we were 8 years old, like being ball boys with J.J. Jerome and Josh Jerome and Zach Zimmerman. And like we dreamt of this day, and it finally came. Did
you talk to guys like the Jerome brothers back in the day about wanting to do what they're doing?
Oh, yes, definitely. This has always been my dream. I've always wanted to come out here and win a championship, and I got to do it with all my brothers.
Talk about the offensive line. Who else is out there blocking with you tonight?
I got David Portnow as my left tackle. I got Eli Nugent as my left guard. I'm center, and then Matai Patel, he's my right tackle or right guard, and then Boyd Aney is my right tackle. I wouldn't ask for anybody else out there. They give 110% every play. They don't give up. Sometimes they hold. That's annoying, but they don't give up to the whistle.
Do you guys have contests with each other? I mean, or are there ways to punish one another when maybe somebody gets a hold or somebody gets a false start? I mean, how do you guys handle that? Are there little playful games within games? Or?
No, not necessarily. I'd say Tell the Truth Monday. When we find out how many penalty yards, it's 1 yard per penalty, or 1 hill per penalty. If you've ever been to Monroe, there's that big hill on the backside, and we have to go up per yard, and it sucks.
Win or lose?
Win or lose, yes.
Okay, so how many hills are you going to be doing on Monday?
I haven't got a single holding call all year, actually, so I won't be doing any.
Hey, Steve.
Vincent's in my ear right
hey,
now. What's the number
Steve, I've got a number for you.
Okay.
138.
138 penalty yards? Is that the yards for Monroe, Joel?
Yes.
He said 138 penalty, but those weren't all offensive line, though, right? So,
except my right tackle. My left tackle had 3 holding calls, but, he's a dog. He was in his head all night. He was nervous. I mean, who wouldn't be? It was a big-time game, so.
You guys played Ferndale twice last year. You split with them. Is this kind of the rubber game, the championship game, best 2 out of 3?
What do you mean?
Well, didn't you play Ferndale twice last year?
We did.
You won one and you lost one, right?
We did, yes. There's Blake Springer, by the way. We won. We lost the first one. We were all rough. Right out of COVID, we had a bunch of people from Hawaii come over. Like we didn't really have a team bond. By the end of the year, we were brothers, and it just carried over even more into this game. And I think we're gonna take it to them next week.
Are you excited that you get to play this game at home in front of all your fans?
Yes, definitely. I'm not looking forward to a 2-hour bus ride like they have to.
By the way, Noah Berry's walking by us. We already had him. Noah, what is up with Noah's got a hammer in his hand. What is the hammer?
It's passed down tradition. It gets passed down. It's like typically linebackers. It's a defensive thing, but it gets passed down to like the guy that calls plays, leads the defense down. It started. I don't really remember how far back, but the thing that's really adds the cherry on top is the man that made that hammer is the head coach for or is the D coordinator.
He's the head coach and the defensive coordinator for Snohomish. Joey Hammer made that.
Joey Hammer made. Scott Darrell's getting ready to take these guys back. Hey, again, Noah Berry, congratulations. Ryland Hampton, congratulations.
Weekend and but Monday it's back and kicking. We're kicking hard too.
God, that's cooler in my opinion.
The whole thing's pretty cool. Guys, go catch a bus, enjoy your ride back, and best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Steve, let's
Have a good night.
We get a picture with those guys with a hammer.
Okay, we'll definitely do that.
Okay, all right. Get that all done, and we're going to go back
And the Monroe Bearcats get the scoring started just 2 minutes into the football game, and it was our player of the game, Pruitt, getting to strike 8.